second. All right, sir, your name? All right, Mr. Jean, you're here. Case number 2023 CF 4044 AO. It's one count, false imprisonment, domestic violence, one count, aggravated battery, domestic violence. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. I reviewed the arrest affidavit. Do determine there's probable cause as to each count. I'm set bond on count one at $1,500, count two at $500, and there's going to be the following conditions. You have no contact with the alleged victim. No contact means no contact. Text messages, emails, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, no communication through third parties, no relaying messages through family members, anything like that, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
So no contact with the alleged victim. Also going to order that you possess no weapons, firearms, or ammunition. Counsel, were they living together? No. All right.
Your Honor, we'd be asking for a one-time return with law enforcement.
Okay. So I'm ordering you have no contact with the alleged victim. I'm going to order that you maintain separate residences. If you need to go back to the residence one time, you may do so to get any personal belongings, but you may do so only with the presence of law enforcement. The way that works is you call the sheriff's office, whoever the appropriate law enforcement agency, tell them you need to go back one time, then you coordinate a time to go back and get your stuff. Don't show up there and then call the police because that may be a violation of the conditions. You'd be picked up and held no bond, okay? All right, but you can go back one time with the presence of law enforcement to get any personal belongings. Other than that, no contact and no return, and do not possess any weapons, firearms, or ammunition, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, good luck to you, sir. Yep. All right, sir, your name?
Ernest Samuel Croissant.
All right, Mr. Cassant, you're here at 2020 CF 3692BO. A warrant was issued for a violation of probation. The judge who signed the warrant set bond at none. So I'm appointing the Office of the Public Defender to represent you, and we're going to stay the bond at none until you see that judge, okay?
Okay.
Good luck to you, sir. All right, we'll just keep going.
Top of the docket.
Yeah, so Black's next. All right, 2023 MM2160AO. Sir, your name? All right, Mr. Black, we were reset this. We gave state 24 hours for probable cause. The affidavit that was attached yesterday was like one paragraph and kind of conclusory. So do you have anything else, state?
Yes, Your Honor, state did reach out to the deputy who arrested Mr. Black. I did obtain an additional affidavit. I have provided one to defense. May I approach?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much. Give me 1 second. All right, I reviewed the supplemental affidavit. Do determine there's probable cause as to counts 1, 2, and 3. Set bond on count 1 at $2,500. Stay the bonds on counts 2 and 3 at $500. Following conditions: that you have no contact with the alleged victim, you do not return to the scene where this was alleged to have occurred, that you possess no weapons, firearms, or ammunition. You're also out on bond in 2020 CF 3913AO, which was a violation of probation. 2 days after bonding out on that charge is when he picked up these charges. So we're gonna revoke the bond in that case, set bond at none on the VOP, so you can see that, Judge, okay? All right, if I haven't, I think that it has an attorney on the VOP, but if not, we'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender, okay? All right, good luck to you, sir. 2,500 on, I put 2,500 on count one and stayed the other two. Yeah. Yeah, no contact, no return, no weapons. All right, sir, your name?
Robert John Fitzpatrick.
All right, Mr. Fitzpatrick, you're here in 2023 MM2158AO. Why did we reset this one?
Just the fugitive?
Just, we found probable cause yesterday. I appointed the Office of the Public Defender. We stayed the bond with the no return to any Disney property.
Was it reset just to make sure he was picked up on that fugitive warrant? That might have been why, Your Honor.
It just said to address the fugitive, so I guess just inform him of the
Yeah,
information.
you've got
for the
holds out
fugitive,
of, I think, was it California and New Jersey?
Double check.
And you don't have to answer, but
Yeah, New Jersey.
Just New Jersey?
I just seen New Jersey.
Oh, it's second out of California in the affidavit. The officer, teletype, had one in California as well. But that's non-extraditable.
Right.
All right. So you've got a hold for, you got an extraditable warrant out of New Jersey in addition to your
make sure you're listening.
your Orange County problem. The Office of the Public Defender's been previously appointed. So is there anything else we need to do? Just advise him of that as while we were doing? Okay. All right, so you have an attorney here in Orange County. The Office of the Public Defender's been appointed to represent you. You have a $1,000 bond on your case here in Orange County, but there's a hold on you for a warrant out of New Jersey, okay? All right.
Yes, sir.
Good luck, sir.
Take this with you. Stay in touch with us, okay?
Yeah, I think it's paper.
You can use that. I can't give you the pen, though.
All right. 2023 CF 4009AO. This was reset to correct, well, for probable cause, I mean, the officer spelled it Fontanelle, which
As
isn't a
well
drug.
as the alprazolam as
And
well.
the Alpraz and the pills were not identified in the affidavit.
And state was not able to obtain an additional affidavit, state just asked for ROR in 1 and 2.
All right. I know it's kind of silly, but he does it over and over again, spells it Fontanelle, which is, I mean, it's kind of close, but it's not even that close to fentanyl. So Fontanelle may be another thing. I'm not a,
It
yeah,
seems more than just a scrivener's error.
right. All right. So we're going to ROR in count one, ROR in count two. We're going to stay the bond on count three at $1,000 with the same conditions that you have no contact with your co-defendant, okay?
Your Honor, was the $1,000 on the paraphernalia? Or should it be the 100 that stayed?
I'm putting it at 1,000, just given the facts. Hold on. I mean, there is no PC for the fentanyl, but given the reason for no PC, it's got prior drug history.
I believe she's currently also sitting on another fentanyl case.
Right, there's another fentanyl case. Yeah, based on her prior history, the facts of this case, the lack of PC being almost a technicality, we're gonna set bond on count three at $1,000, okay?
You still have a little less, okay.
Because the states could still file it as the fentanyl, so. All right, you wanna do them next?
Gave you, so you know, these ones right here, you see that one?
1 and 2 stayed
You don't have to worry about
This one, the 1,000. Yeah, okay.
with everything. I'd have to
All
double.
right, we got the Arabic.
Good luck.
All right. Okay. We're gonna do the Arabic now.
Then arms here.
All right, Mr. Interpreter, can you hear us?
I know speak.
Yes, sir, I can.
All right, have you been previously sworn?
No, sir.
All right, please raise your right hand to be sworn. Do you swear or affirm to translate from Arabic to English, from English to Arabic to the best of your ability?
I do.
All right, the first case we have for you is 2023 MM 2162AO. Sir, your name?
Omar Saeed.
All right. All right, Mr. Interpreter, we're going to start addressing the defendant now. Sir, your name?
مرحبا، ما هو اسمك الكامل؟
I am محمد حسن.
Into the...
محمد حسن.
ما هو اسمك الكامل لو سمحت؟
محمد حمد سالم حسن.
All right, it's...
My name is Muhammad Hamad Salim Hassan.
All right, sir, you're here on one count of battery, domestic violence.
Yes. يا سيدي أنت هنا في تهمتين، يعني الأولى هي العنف الأسري والثانية هي الضرب، الاعتداء بالضرب.
I will
An
point...
interpreter, can you please advise him not to speak on the facts of the case as we go through this? I apologize, Your Honor.
It's okay.
أنا
Hold on.
يا
Interpreter, if you
سيدي
can interpret that quickly, sorry.
يا سيدي لا تتكلم، حاول أن لا تتكلم ولا تقاطع. عندما يقول لك القاضي ويتكلم، المحكمة تتكلم، أنت لا تتكلم، لا تقاطع.
All right. So I'm going to appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you.
طيب يا سيدي أنا سأعين هذا الضابط أو الشخص الذي سيمثلك.
I've reviewed the arrest affidavit. I do determine there is probable cause.
أنا أراجع الملف وهناك سبب محتمل.
You do qualify for what's called pretrial release. That's a non-monetary release.
يا سيدي أنت سوف يكون لك الحق بمحاكمة مسبقة.
So you'll be released as it relates to this charge without having to post a bond.
سوف يتم إخلاءك، يعني سوف تخرج من غير كفالة.
There are going to be some conditions, however, because the alleged victims aren't here.
سوف يكون هناك بعض الشروط لأنه الضحية ليست هنا.
I have to order that you have no contact with the alleged victim.
إحدى هذه الشروط أن لا يكون لك أي نوع من التواصل مع الضحية.
I have to order that you maintain separate residences.
وعلي سيكون هناك أمر بأن تحيا بشكل منفصل.
If you need to go back to the home one time to get any personal belongings, you may do so, in the presence of law enforcement.
إذا بودك أن تذهب مرة أخرى للبيت مرة واحدة لأن تأخذ أغراضك، هذا ممكن، ويكون معك شخص من الشرطة.
I'm also going to order that you possess no weapons, firearms, or ammunition.
وأيضا سوف يكون هناك أمر بأنك لا تملك أو حيازة أي نوع من أنواع الأسلحة.
You have an attorney appointed to represent you. If at any times you need the conditions of this release modified, just speak to your attorney about that.
سوف يتم تعيين محامي لتمثيلك في أي وقت أنت عايز تعمل أي نوع من التعديل على هذه القضية، من الممكن أن تتكلم مع المحامي.
but because the victim's not here, those conditions are mandatory, okay?
يقول لك احكي هسه.
لأنه الضحية ليست هنا، هذه الشروط إجبارية.
تسمح لي احكي؟
Can I talk?
احكي؟
Here's the thing,
Can I speak?
yeah.
امبارح
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah.
You have the right to remain silent.
انتظر.
Anything you say can and will be used against you. All we're doing today is setting conditions of release. You're going to be released.
All right. يا سيدي، أنت لديك الحق أن تبقى صامت. كل ما تتكلم فيه من الممكن أن يستخدم ضدك. أنت ستخرج اليوم، ستخرج مع الشروط. ماشي؟
All right, so those are going to be the conditions. Good luck to you, sir. You'll be released as it relates to this charge today.
هذه هي الشروط. نتمنى لك حظا سعيدا. سوف تخرج اليوم.
شكرا. ثانك يو.
Good luck, sir.
مع السلامة. حظا سعيدا.
ما بقدر احكي شيء هذا الحكي.
Did you have a question regarding release?
Yeah.
All right, he can ask a question.
Yes, yes.
Your Honor, yeah, he has a interpreter. He has
ما
a
هو
question
سؤالك؟
regarding release.
سؤالي هذا كل الحكي اللي انحكى
ما
هذا.
هو سؤالك على الخروج، على إطلاق السراح؟ ما هو سؤالك على هذا
You're
الموضوع؟
addressing to the
باقي
court.
الصراحة انه هذا كل شيء اجى فيه هذا ما عملته من مرة. انا ما عملته. ايام open the
I didn't do anything.
Hold on.
I didn't do anything.
We're not here to talk about
None
the
of that
facts. We're just
happened.
about if you had questions. Do you have any questions? Interpreter, can you ask if he has any questions?
يا سيدي بيقول لك يا سيدي بتقول لك هذا احنا ليس هنا حتى نناقش هذا الموضوع. عندك سؤال على الإطلاق السراح الآن؟
Okay, good luck.
All right, thank you.
No.
Thank you.
مع السلامة. All right, thank you.
All right, we have one more. The case number for the next case is 23 MM 2188AO. All right, sir, your name?
لؤي
Hold on.
ما هو اسمك؟
لؤي
Try to
Lo-
speak a little more into the microphone. There you go.
لؤي sorry لؤي سليم.
Your attorney.
All right, so first name is Louis, last name is Salim.
Okay. All right, sir, you're here on one count of battery domestic violence. I reviewed the rest affidavit.
يا سيدي أنت هنا قضية عنف أسري واعتداء بالضرب.
Do determine there's probable cause.
وهذا سوف يحدد أن هناك تبعات.
I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you.
سوف أحدد محامي أو شخص حتى يمثلك.
Any objection to ROR in this case, state? With no contact?
هل هناك أي اعتراضات؟ Yes, sir. Go ahead.
No, just ROR with no contact. I mean, there's kind of conflicting,
The state has no objection.
yeah. All right, sir, you're going to be released as it relates to this charge today without having to post a bond, okay?
Thank you.
يا سيدي سوف يتم إطلاق سراحك اليوم من غير أن يوضع هناك كفالة.
But there are going to be some conditions.
لكن هذا إطلاق السراح سيكون بشروط وضوابط.
Because the alleged victim is not here, I have to order that you have no contact with the alleged victim, okay?
لأن الضحية ليست هنا. سوف أأمر بأن لا يكون لديك أي نوع من التواصل والتخاطب مع الضحية.
I also have to order that the two of you maintain separate residences.
وأيضا سوف أأمر بأن تحيون بشكل منفصل.
If you need to go back to the residence one time, you may do so with the presence of law enforcement.
إذا احتجت أن تذهب مرة واحدة فقط إلى المكان اللي كنت عايش فيه حتى تأخذ بعض الأغراض أو أغراضك، من الممكن أن تذهب مرة واحدة بحضور الشرطي الضابط.
That one-time return is for you to get any personal belongings you need out of the house, and then you can go stay somewhere else until further order of the court.
هذا الذهاب للمكان أو للبيت يكون مرة واحدة فقط لأخذ حاجياتك المحتاجها، ومن ثم تخرج ويكون بحضور ضابط شرطة، تأخذ أغراضك وتذهب تحيا في مكان آخر.
If for whatever reason you need those modified, you have the Office of the Public Defender appointed to represent you that can file the appropriate motions, okay?
إذا لديك أي اعتراضات أو تعديلات على القضية سوف يكون لديك محامي تتناقش هذه التعديلات مع المحامي للتعديل في القيس التعديل في الملف وتقديمه للمحكمة.
I also have to order that you possess no weapons, firearms, or ammunition.
Bless you.
وأيضا هناك أمر أن لن يكون لديك أي حيازة لأي سلاح.
All right, good luck to you, sir.
I have a question.
All right,
حظا سعيدا.
hold on, do you speak English?
Oh, yeah.
All right, Mr. Interpreter, thanks for your help.
Yes.
Don't talk about
Of course,
facts in
thank
the
you for
case.
using our service.
All
Take
right,
care. Bye now.
bye-bye.
I have one concern.
Yeah,
I used to be a teacher in Sula County, and I'm on short-term disability. I don't have one penny in my pocket.
Goodbye.
I don't have one
well,
penny.
you're not gonna have to post a bond. You're gonna be released
I
without having to
understand.
post a bond.
You are saying, if I'm not mistaken, that I'm not supposed to go to my house.
I understand that. I have to order that because you were the one that was arrested and brought here. Because she's not here, I have to order that you maintain separate residences. It's not gonna change. I don't care what you say. I understand. I do care what you say, but no matter what you say, I can't allow you to go back there because she's not here. So that's just the way these domestic violence situations, I understand there's conflict. The evidence in the thing, it's non-clear if anything happened at all. I understand that, but that's just the fact of what we're doing here today. If for whatever reason you need that modified, you have an attorney appointed to represent you, the Public Defender's Office, the young lady standing next to you, is giving you a way to contact your attorney. They can file a motion to try to have that modified sooner rather than later, but until then, you gotta find somewhere to go. I'm sorry, it stinks. I don't have all the answers, but that is what it is.
She did that before on me, and we went to
we
the
don't have-
court, and it was
we
she
don't have to
was
talk.
lying.
I understand.
have to
And
get
I
into
got
the
pinched
details.
nerve from there. I have been sleeping in the street for 10 days.
All right,
I understand it's frustrating. Contact your attorney and they'll see what they can do to help you, okay? At least you're getting out today. Good luck.
And these are free charges.
You don't have to pay to bond out, but you do.
you're gonna get released.
need to, Okay?
Is the attorney, is the
Public Defender's Office, call our office and they'll tell you who's appointed. I don't know yet.
is it, they are free or they need money?
Yeah, yes, mostly. There's costs at the end, don't.
All right, sir, good luck.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yep. Mhm. All right, 2023 CF4, we're still on recess, jeez. 2023 CF 4013AO. This case was reset for PC on the 2 prior convictions.
Yes, Your Honor, state did obtain an additional affidavit. I have provided one to defense. May I
All right.
approach?
Yep. Thank you very much. All right, sir, your name?
Sorry.
Your name again?
Devontae McCall.
All right, Mr. McCall. All right, reviewed the supplemental affidavit. I do find there's probable cause as to count 1. We'll stay the bond at $1,000. Stay the bond on count 2 at $100. Also, with the original conditions that you do not return to the scene where this was alleged to have occurred, okay? All right, good luck,
He
sir.
has another case, Your Honor.
Does-
It looks like he's set for court for. Yeah, they have him scheduled
hold
for
on.
today.
Oh, okay.
It's for 4064 is the last.
Yeah, all right, 2020, there's also another case, 2023 CF 4064AO.
I don't know.
Hold on, I didn't look at this. All right, reviewing that arrest affidavit, I do determine there's probable cause as to counts 1 and 2. Count 1's petty theft, 2 or more prior convictions. Count 1 is petty theft, 2 or more prior convictions. Count 2 is petty theft. Find probable cause, stay the bond on count 1 at 1,000, count 2, 100, order that you do not return to the Mall of Millennia. All right?
Yeah. Thank you for asking. I didn't realize there was another one.
All right, good luck, sir.
So you have other bonds for that one as well.
All right. 2023 CF 4040AO. Did he bond?
It looks like they bonded.
Sarabia, huh?
They bonded, Your Honor.
Okay. With regards to, we reset it to today for PC, so we don't need to do that, right?
Yeah, they bonded. They're being processed for release.
All right. Did you have any? I'm just curious. Oh, did they test
Actually, I
it?
spoke to the MBI officer out at the airport, and they don't even have a psilocybin
Yeah, test?
test. He said they arrest on it purely off of the way it's
What?
packaged, the way it smells, since it was vacuum sealed and had the, so, yeah, he said we don't even have and psilocybin.
That's just kind of weird, because I mean, we'd find like no PC on cocaine that looks like cocaine,
That's,
and then like, and then when they put in the arrest affidavit, just presumptive positive and don't say for what. So I'm surprised they don't have like at least a
Something.
field presumptive test. It's the airport, for crying out loud. They got the good dogs, they got all, yeah. Anyway. All right. Another one, 2023 CF 3989AO, John Self. All right, he refused the other, we reset it 24 hours for PC on the bat strangulation.
yes, Judge, and state was not able to obtain any other affidavits, so state would just ask that you find PC for battery, bat DV.
Well, I mean, it's almost PC for false imprisonment, but. Yeah, we'll find PC for battery, domestic violence. We'll set bond. Give me 1 second. We'll set bond at $5,000 based on the prior history. Order no contact, no return, no weapons, firearms, or ammunition.
And that was 5,000, Your Honor? Based
Yeah,
on
he's
the-
got, I mean, based on arguably there's PC for false imprisonment, hindering communication to law enforcement. We're not doing that. I'm just finding PC on the battery right now, but based on the facts alleged in that short paragraph and prior history of violation, domestic injunction, concealing a handcuff key,
I believe he also currently has an injunction with the same
Yeah.
victim.
battery, domestic violence, dangerous weapon. Based on that and the safety of the alleged victim, we're gonna set bond at 5,000 with no return, no contact, no weapons.
And Madam Clerk, that would be 784.03 sub 10 for bat DV.
All right, well, again, under the doctrine of Goose v. Gander, 2023 CF 4010AO, we're gonna ROR on counts 1 and 2, stay the bond on count 3 at 1,000. But he's being held on the case he was out on bond on. But, anyway.
All right.
All right. Uh-huh. All right.
The one I didn't get the.
This is the guy that got shot, right? I think that's where they served the warrant. He was shot in something else at the hospital. Anyway, 2023 CF 4080AO. I couldn't review the affidavit. I didn't see it. State, do you have the affidavit?
I was not able to find it either, Your Honor.
I mean, probable cause determination's been made. So,
Your Honor, probable cause is an ongoing issue, and defense hasn't had the opportunity to review it either. I don't know if this is something we can reset to have time for that, or,
I got no problem resetting it for this reason. Not necessarily the probable cause. I think I understand probable cause is ongoing. But based on the nature of the alleged offenses, in order to determine appropriate bond and conditions of release, I think the facts of what happened are important. So we'll reset it for that, try to get that affidavit. Well, he's been doing it longer than I have. All right, sir. Your name?
Jermaine Foley.
All right, Mr. Foley. You're here in 2023 CF 4082AO. One count of hindering witness communication to law enforcement, one count of battery, domestic violence. I reviewed the arrest affidavit. Do determine there's probable cause. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. Ma'am, your name?
Stephanie Floistin.
Stephanie, last name?
Floistin.
All right, ma'am. You're the alleged victim in this case, is that correct?
Yes.
All right. All right, so you've been sitting out there. You understand what we're doing today is determine conditions of, appropriate conditions of release. So we have some questions for you. The things we can order is that he have no contact with you. You maintain separate residences and things like that. So when's the last time, other than this time, something like this happened?
That was a month ago.
How many?
1 month ago.
1 month ago? Are you afraid of him?
Right now, yes.
All right. Do you want to have contact with him?
No.
All right. Any questions, State?
No, Judge.
All right. All right, so in that case, we're gonna set bond on count one at $1,000, count two, $250 with the following conditions. You have no contact with the alleged victim. You maintain separate residences. If you need to go back one time to get any personal belongings, you can do so, but only with the presence of law enforcement, okay? The way that works is you call law enforcement, and then you show up at a mutually agreed upon time to get any personal belongings with the presence of law enforcement. Also going to order that you possess no weapons, firearms, or ammunition. You're also out on bond on battery, domestic violence in 23 MM 1929AO. Here's the problem with that. There was a no contact order, but you have no contact with Helen Dixon. Helen Dixon is the co-defendant in this case. So you violated the no contact order and the conditions of your bond. Or it's on pretrial release. You violated pretrial release. So we're going to revoke pretrial release in that case. Set bond at none until you can go see the judge in Division 50. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you in both cases if I hadn't done so already, all right? Thank you, ma'am.
And Your Honor, for the next one, I do, if it's Hampton, I have some probable cause arguments.
All right. All right, sir, your name? Sir, your name?
Iran Hampton.
All right, Mr. Hampton, you're here in 2023 CF 4070AO. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. It's 3 counts, 1 count aggravated assault with a firearm, 1 count child abuse, 1 count attempted false imprisonment. Your attorney's indicated she has a probable cause argument, so go ahead, counsel.
Your Honor, in defense's review of the police report, the charge being child abuse, I don't think anything actually mentions a child's age to confirm that a child was in fact involved. For that reason, we'd argue that there's no probable cause for the child abuse. Additionally, for the false imprisonment, we would be arguing that there's no probable cause for that as well. The victim was not confined, abducted, imprisoned, or restrained. You could argue Arguably, the victim was prevented from going a certain direction, but not from leaving. Therefore, for that reason, we don't believe that the probable cause exists for the false imprisonment nor the child abuse.
All right, let me look, State, do you have any argument as to the false imprisonment?
No, Your Honor, State Head was going to make a similar argument regarding the false imprisonment.
Okay.
The victim said that he didn't want to turn around until
Right.
the firearm went away, but
But the child, I believe, somewhere, I think they used the word minor child.
I may have overlooked it, but I
I don't
did
know,
not see
I
that.
may be misremembering, but.
It took me a moment to realize it was a child, honestly.
I mean, they used the word child.
Your Honor, we would still argue that without an actual age to confirm or date of birth, that there's no probable cause for that.
Give me one more second, I want to make sure.
just, I think it's a State's juvenile daughter is the only,
Yeah, where does it say that? I remember reading that.
the second page in the probable cause statements.
This is only
Yeah, all right, thank you. I knew I remembered reading that. All right, so based on that, they say juvenile daughter, I'm gonna find probable cause as to there was a child. So, find probable causes counts 1, 2, and 3,
Probable cause on 3?
or not 3. Or on count 3, sorry. So probable cause on counts 1 and 2.
I understand.
All right, I'm gonna set bond on count 1 at $2,500. Count 2 at $2,500. Also order that you possess no weapons, firearms, or ammunition. If I hadn't already, I'll point, I think I did, but I'll point the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. Also gonna order that you have no contact with the alleged victim, and that you do not return what council is 415 East Pine Street, is that where he lives?
No, Your Honor.
Paramount on Lake, I don't think it is, but,
No, he doesn't live there,
all
Your
right, so
Honor.
you can't go back to 415 East Pine Street, that's the Paramount on Lake Eola Apartments.
Your Honor, I want to confirm, there's no contact with the victim, but the child is his niece, and he does assist in taking care of the child. There's no,
Yeah, based on the allegations here, I mean, there is PC for child abuse, but it,
Your Honor, State, we just asked that it remain at no contact, and DCF was called.
and Your Honor, I know that we don't have anyone here to speak on this, but I've been informed that he does assist in childcare. He does take his niece to, I believe it was school on Wednesdays and Thursdays, and I believe that would be a hardship for the family as a whole if he were not able to do that. We just ask for no hostile contact.
Your Honor, just for the record, State would object.
I understand the objection, I'm kind of torn, I mean, the child was just kind of caught in the middle of beef between two adults. While there was PC for child abuse, the abuse was not directed at the child. So, yeah, based on, and the fact that he's involved in childcare is kind of evident from the affidavit itself. This wasn't a drop-off situation, so you're just gonna have no contact with the adult victim, no hostile contact with the minor child, no possess no weapons, firearms, or ammunition, and no return to 415, okay?
Your Honor, State would ask for comply with DCF.
And, yeah, if DCF was called, you have to
Wherever that
comply
address was where this happened.
with any and all conditions imposed by DCF, okay?
Your Honor, what's the address that, it's 405 that this happened?
415 East, or North Pine, East Pine Street?
All right. Thank you, Your Honor.
Yep, all right, good luck.
Good luck with everything. No. You can see your niece. No hostile contact, so it can't be any negative contact.
No raising your voice, arguing, anything like that, okay?
Nothing. If anything gets with other people elevates, remove yourself from the situation as well, especially if it's around, okay? Good luck.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Good luck. All right, so your name?
Joe Johnson.
All right, Mr. Johnson, you're here pursuant to a warrant. Three counts: battery by strangulation, battery, domestic violence, and criminal mischief. Less than $200. I've reviewed the warrant and the affidavit to issue the warrant. Do determine there's probable cause as to each count. Count one, I'm going to set bond. Well, he does qualify for pretrial release, so I'm going to release you on what's called pretrial release. That's non-monetary release. So you're going to be released without having to post a bond, okay? But there's going to be some conditions. You have no contact with the alleged victim. Since they're not here, I have to impose these conditions that you maintain separate residences. If you need to go back to this residence one time, you may do so to get any personal belongings, but you got to do so with the presence of law enforcement, okay? So you call the appropriate law enforcement agency, tell them you got a one-time return, and just comply with whatever condition, you'll agree on a mutually agreeable time for you to go back and get whatever you need out of the house. Other than that, you can't go back there, okay? Until further order of the court.
Back to where this
Or you just must maintain separate residences. So if she's not living there, if the victim's not living there, you can live there, but you got to maintain separate residences.
We don't say, so as long as she's not there, you can go.
Yeah, and no weapons, firearms, or ammunition. And if I haven't already, I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you, okay? PTR. Yeah. I didn't say I come in. All right, sir.
Your Honor, is there any way instead of PTR, we could do a $500 bond?
No, based on this, we're going to do PTR.
Understood.
Yeah.
Good luck. It'll be fine. I hope. If
All right, sir, your name?
Matthew Stewart.
All right, Mr. Stewart. Sir, your name?
Xavier Cruz.
A little closer to the microphone.
Xavier Cruz.
All right, Mr. Cruz, you're the alleged victim in this case?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, it's one count of aggravated battery with a weapon. I've reviewed the arrest affidavit. I do determine there is probable cause. It's 2023 CF 4059 AO. Is this just because the charge he doesn't qualify for pretrial
Yeah,
release?
that charge doesn't qualify for the admin order.
Yeah. All right, Mr. Cruz, you've been sitting out there. You kind of understand what's going on here today?
Yes, sir.
All right. You afraid of Mr. Stewart?
Yes, sir.
What's that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Anything like this ever happened before?
There's been previous incidences with him and his other families.
All right, speak up a little bit.
There's been previous incidences with him and his family and friends.
Okay. You guys live in the same place?
Yes, sir.
All right. In this instance, 'cause it wasn't really clear from the affidavit, were you hit with the brass knuckles?
Yes, sir.
All right.
The defendant also
Was-
admits to possessing the brass knuckles.
Right. Okay. There's no doubt that brass knuckles were around. It just was kind of, but not based on what he's saying, I got no problem finding probable cause. All right, sir. So I do find probable cause as to aggravated battery with a weapon. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. Mr. Cruz, do you plan on staying there?
I do for the time being. I don't know if we'll continue to.
Right, because it's his family that,
Yes.
It's their house,
family,
right?
And my daughters and myself stay there with my significant other.
yeah. All right. So what's the situation? All in one house? Is there like a garage or what's the?
It's all in one house. He has a bedroom inside, and he also has like a garage bedroom as well.
All right. All right. This is just for the attorneys. It's not a probable cause thing. It's just in determining the appropriate bond and conditions of bond. Just reading the affidavit. I understand the brass knuckles and that's what makes it a felony. But it almost seems like a mutual combat situation where,
Your Honor, state would disagree with that characterization from the victim's testimony, and there is a video. Video shows
the sucker punch, yeah, that's true.
him standing at the back of the truck, his back to him, the defendant runs up to him and smacks him in the back of the head, then they're hitting and punching each other on the ground.
All right, that's fair. All right. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna set bond. You got no prior history, so we're gonna set bond in this case at $500, but there's gonna be the following conditions. You can't have contact with Mr. Cruz. No contact means no contact. No communication through third parties, no emails, text messages, anything like that, okay?
Sir.
Also, I'm gonna have to order that you maintain separate residences. As long as he's staying there, you can't stay there. You can go back one time, the presence of law enforcement, get any personal belongings you need out of the house, but other than that, you two have to maintain separate residences, and the court order applies to you, not him. So as long as he's staying in the house, you can't stay in the house, okay?
Sir.
Also gonna order that you possess no weapons. That includes brass knuckles, firearms, or ammunition, all right?
Sir.
All right, good luck, and if I hadn't already, I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. Thank you, Mr.
Your Honor,
Cruz.
DCF was also contacted.
Oh, DCF was contacted, so as a condition of your bond, you need to comply with any and all conditions imposed by DCF if they impose any, okay?
Sir.
All right, good luck. All right, thank you. All right, sir, your name? All right, Mr. Cadet, you're here, 2023 MM2192AO. It's violation of a domestic violence injunction. I reviewed the arrest affidavit. Do determine there's probable cause. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. I don't see any prior domestic history. I see a lot of history, but.
Well, he's currently sitting on a kidnapping.
Oh,
and
that's
that-
sorry. So, that name sounded familiar. Okay. Different victim in that case?
In that case, it was, 1 second. In that case, it was. The victim explained, the victim. She's referred to as the victim, the victim, the victim.
It doesn't say. All right, here's what we're gonna do. He's being held no bond on that case, right?
He,
2023 CF 3263 AO? I think so.
He has bonds on
bonds.
6263.
he was revoked on another case, an assault
All right,
Two other, yeah.
and
Right.
cases he was
defrauding.
well, in this case, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna set bond on this case, $1,000. Order that you have no contact with the alleged victim, and that applies before you bond out, so that starts as while you're in jail, and just so you know, the phone calls in here are recorded, so I have to order that you have no contact with the alleged victim in this case. It's Miss Johnson. That you do not return to her residence, and that you possess no weapons, firearms, or ammunition, okay? All right, if I hadn't already, I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. Good luck to you, sir. All right, sir, your name? All right, Mr. Connerly, this is 2022 MM241AE. It's one count of violation of domestic violence injunction. I've reviewed the arrest affidavit. Determine there's, well, it's pursuant to a warrant, but I reviewed the affidavit to issue the warrant as well. Set bond in this case, at $2,500, order that you do not return to you have no contact with the alleged victim, do not return to her residence, that you possess no weapons, firearms, or ammunition. All right? Good luck.
Your Honor, for Mr. Johnson, there is a probable cause argument from defense.
As it relates to the credit cards?
Yes, and the controlled substance as well. I don't think it was actually named in the report. I may have missed it. Nothing was tested, and I don't think it was ID'd, is what I meant to say. It was named, not tested, not ID'd.
All right, 2023 MM 215AW. Sir, your name?
Michael Johnson,
All right, Mr. Johnson.
sign.
You're here on 4 counts. 1 count of fraudulent illegal use of credit cards, expired or revoked. Count 2, theft. Count 3, battery. Count 4, possession of a controlled substance. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. Hold on.
You or him?
All we're doing is setting bond and conditions of release today, okay?
Okay. Because the credit cards are.
Hold on, hold
Don't
on.
talk about anything.
Yeah, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. Whatever is written on the paper is what we're going by. What you say at this particular hearing is not going to change what's written on the paper,
Okay.
all right? So the only thing you can do is have whatever you say used against you later, so. State, do you have an argument as it relates to the pills?
No, Your Honor, I believe it's alleged within the affidavit that the law enforcement officer just asked him for officer safety, are they fentanyl? And Mr. Johnson said that they are Percocets that may be laced with fentanyl. So there's
Where does he say that? Hold on.
partial
which-
admission, that
which
was. On the first page, it's paragraph starting, Michael was read as Miranda rights near the bottom.
Okay, all right.
It's Michael then told me that they were street Percocets that he believed it is probably laced with fentanyl. Is how it reads.
Your Honor, he's not even sure himself. I'd argue that's not enough for probable cause.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna find probable cause as it relates, I mean. Right, we're not, probable cause is at the very beginning of the burden spectrum. So based on that, I would find probable cause as possession of a controlled substance based on the facts, the totality of the circumstances alleged, including the admission that they are Percocets. So find probable causes to count 4. What about count 1?
State has no argument, Your Honor. It just states that there was a credit card in his
Right.
wallet, not a name on the credit card. that he
I
was
think it was
involved in
hers, which, I
possession.
mean, I may have a credit card with my wife's name on it.
I believe he had her social security card and
Yeah,
other cards in her
well,
name.
I've had my wife's social security.
Additionally, I think the charge actually requires use. It's not just possession.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
the case too, so we're gonna ROR on count 1. No PC. Count 2, stay the bond at 500. Count 3, set bond at 500. Count 4 will stay the bond at 1,000. The conditions of your bond are gonna be as follows. You have no contact with the alleged victim. To possess and consume no illegal drugs without a valid prescription. You're to consume no alcohol. Should possess no weapons, firearms, or ammunition. Should do not return to the residence where this was alleged to have occurred. You can go back one time with the presence of law enforcement in order to get any personal belongings. The way that works is you gotta call the appropriate law enforcement agency first, if it's Winter Garden Police Department, Orange County Sheriff's Office. Whichever the appropriate law enforcement agency is, you call them, tell them you got a one-time return, coordinate a time for you to go back with the presence of law enforcement, get any personal belongings you need out of the house. Other than that, you can't go back there, okay? Until further order of the court. All right, hold on. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have an attorney standing right there. Anything she says can't be used against you, so you might want to run it through her.
What was count 3?
Yeah, 500.
500.
That's just one.
Do you live there? Is that your home?
That's my resident.
And Your Honor, did you order it as no return or maintain separate residences?
I said no return.
Your Honor, I believe that's his home and the alleged victim is no longer there. Pending she's no longer there, can we have
Yeah,
the?
I got no problem doing separate residences. So if she's living there, you can't have contact with her. So if she's living there, you can't live there. But if she's not, you can, that's fine.
Okay,
All right, good luck.
thank you.
Yep. All right, sir, your name?
Kenneth Nell.
All right, Mr. Nell. Ay, ay, ay. 2023 MM2179AO. It's one count of battery, domestic violence. I've reviewed the arrest affidavit. Do determine there's probable cause. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. You qualify for what's called pretrial release. It's a non-monetary release, so you're gonna be released as it relates to this charge without having to post a bond. Because your niece isn't here, I have to order that you have no contact with her, okay? No contact means no contact, text messages, emails, contact through third parties, anything like that. Yeah, it's probably a good idea. Seems like she got you jammed up a little bit, so, yeah. So,
You believe that?
anyway, so now you have a court order, but it only applies to you. It doesn't apply to her, okay? It only applies to you. You'd have no contact with her. I also have to order that you possess no weapons, firearms, or ammunition. That you do not return to her residence. You guys aren't living together, right? Or, hold on, tell your attorney.
Oh,
She does have the same address on her.
She does,
ID.
okay. So they are living together, or?
No, Your Honor, my understanding, she's no longer living at that address.
All right, so what we're gonna do is that we're gonna order that you maintain separate residences. So again, because you're the one that got arrested, these only apply to you, okay? So if she's living there, you can't live there. But if she's not living there, you can live there. If she is living there and you need to go back, you can go back one time with the presence of law enforcement to get anything you need out of the house to stay until, well, to stay somewhere else, okay?
Okay?
That's it?
Yep.
Thank you, sir.
See ya, good luck. All right. Ma'am, your name?
My name is Shelley Sponsler.
All right, Ms. Sponsler, this is 2023 MM2185AO. It's one count domestic violence. I reviewed the arrest affidavit. I do determine there's probable cause. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. As a condition of your bond, I have to order that you have, while set bond at $500. As a condition of your bond, I'm going to order that you have no contact with the alleged victim. Do not return to the Hilton where this was alleged to have occurred. That you consume no alcohol. And that you possess no weapons, firearms, or ammunition. I also order that that you and the alleged victim maintain separate residences. If you need to go back to a residence to get any personal belongings, you may do so, but only in the presence of law enforcement. You got to call the appropriate law enforcement agency, coordinate a time for you to go there and get what you need out of the house. Other than that, you got to stay somewhere else, okay?
I understand, Your Honor.
All right. Good luck to you, ma'am.
It's at a hotel, so.
And Your Honor, that one-time return applies to the hotel as well, correct? Because there's
Yeah,
property.
Right. You can go to the hotel once, and you can go to the house you share with the victim once, okay? Uh-huh.
With law enforcement, okay?
Yes, I understand. They have security at the hotel?
You'll want to call law enforcement first, don't just show up.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. All right, good luck.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Non-emergency line.
Okay.
Mhm, yeah. All right, sir, your name?
On Weatherwax.
All right, Mr. Weatherwax, this is 2023 MM156AA. Ma'am, your name?
Tabitha Zuccarello.
All right, Ms. Zuccarello, you're the alleged victim in this case?
Yes, sir.
All right, you've been standing out there all morning. You understand what's happening here today?
Yes, sir.
All right. When's the last time anything like this has happened?
It hasn't.
Okay, this is the first time?
3 years ago, we got into a fight, but it wasn't like this.
Okay. You afraid of him?
No.
You guys living together?
Yes, sir.
All right, you want him to be able to come home?
Yes.
All right, state any questions?
No, sir.
No, Judge.
Sorry.
All right, sir, I've reviewed the arrest affidavit. I do determine there's probable cause. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. You do qualify for non-monetary release, which is called pretrial release. So it'll be released as it relates to this charge without having to post a bond, okay? But there's going to be some conditions. I'm going to order that you possess no weapons, firearms, or ammunition. Also, that you consume no alcohol. Also going to have to order that you have no hostile contact with the young lady in the box, okay? No hostile contact means no raising your voice, arguing, anything like that. Anything that could be considered hostile or hostility will be considered violation of the no hostile contact order, and you can be picked up and brought to jail and held no bond in violation of your pretrial release, okay? All right, so ma'am, that, the court order only applies to him, but if things start to seem hostile to you, you can pick up the phone and call somebody, and they'll be in violation of his pretrial release order, okay?
Sir.
All right. Other than that, those are going to be your only conditions. You'll be released as it relates to this charge today. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah. Good.
Stay in touch with your pretrial release officer, and you'll have an attorney appointed as well. Stay in contact with them.
All right, sir, your name?
Paul
Concanon.
All right, Mr. Concanon, you're here for a warrant out of Sumter County. In that case, number is 2022 MN 1436AO. The bond in that warrant set at none. We're going to stay the bond at none. I'm going to appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you while you're here in Orange County, but they should come and get you within 72 hours, all right? All right, good luck, sir. All right, your name, sir?
Kareem Fairley.
All right, Mr. Fairley, you're here in a warrant out of Volusia County. That case number is 2019-102430AO. The bond in that warrant is set at none. We're going to stay the bond at none. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you while you're here in Orange County, but Volusia should be coming to get you within the next 72 hours, okay?
And he does have reporting requirements, Your Honor.
All right. If for whatever reason you are released, the court's going to require you to comply with any and all reporting requirements within 48 hours of your release, okay? All right, good luck, sir.
So it has to be handled there. Yep, good luck. Volusia County, they're gonna pick you up.
All right. 2021 CF 2148, it's a warrant out of Osceola County. That's within the circuit, so we'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent her. The bond on that warrant is set at none. We'll stay the bond at none. Hospital? All right, that's a warrant out of Pinellas County. We'll stay the bond in that, on that warrant at $500. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent him while he's here in Orange County. All right, ma'am, your name? I don't have a Bridges.
Maldonado first?
I have Maldonado. Yeah. All right, ma'am, your name?
Yanni Maldonado.
All right, Miss Maldonado, you're here on 3 cases. They're all warrants. First case is 20, and they're all out of Polk County. First case is CF 22004065. It's 1 count of fleeing and eluding, possession of cannabis, possession of drug paraphernalia, resisting. Bond in that warrant set at none. The other case is CF 22008140. It's a violation of probation. Bond in that warrant set at none. And the last one, CF 21007216. It's a VOP warrant for a battery. Bond in that warrant set at none. We're going to stay the bonds at none. Polk usually comes to get you within 24 hours, okay? All right, so I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you while you're here in Orange County, but Polk should be coming to get you soon, okay?
Okay, so you said no later than 24 hours?
I'm not guaranteeing. I said typically they're coming to get you within 24 hours, but
Okay.
you know I-4.
Okay.
Yeah. Good luck. Yeah. No weekends, holidays? All right. Well, we'll figure that out. All right, Bridges refused. All right, that's 2021 CF 15142AO. It's a violation of probation. We'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to stay the bond at none. All right, sir, your name?
Jabbar Childs.
All right, Mr. Childs, you're here on a warrant in 2021 CF 11660. It's a violation of probation. The bond's set at none. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. We're going to stay the bond at none, okay? All right, good luck.
Call your attorney or contact your attorney who's actually on the case and they can talk to you about it.
All right, Horn he's got 2 cases, 2020 CF 9125AO and 2020 CF 7083AO. Both of those are violation of probation warrants, bond set at none. We're going to stay the bond at none and appoint the Office of the Public Defender in each case. All right, sir, your name? All right, Mr. Keith, you're here on 2 cases as well, 2022 CF 6825AO. It's a violation of probation warrant, bond set at none. We're going to stay the bond at none and appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. You also had 2022 CF 8651AO. That's also a violation of probation warrant, bond set at none. We'll stay the bond at none and appoint the PD to represent you in that case as well, okay? All right, good luck, sir. All right, sir, your name?
Salcedo Julius, sir.
All right, sir, this is 2021 CF 3839AO. A warrant was issued for a violation of probation. Judge who signed the warrant set the bond at none. We're going to stay the bond at none. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, good luck.
With everything you can talk about. No bond, the VOP, you'll have to talk to the attorney about what that means, okay?
All right, sir, your name?
Giovanni Valcarcel.
All right, Mr. Valcarcel, you're here on 2020 CF 10748AO, which is a violation of probation. Allege that you violated your probation by committing the offense of DUI in 2023. CT 2233AO. Viewed the arrest affidavit in 2233AO to determine there's probable cause. Stay the bond in DUI at $500. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you in that case. Also going to set bond on the violation of probation. I'm going to set the bond at none until you see the judge who put you on probation, because it was last August that you were put on probation, so it wasn't that long ago. So you need to go see that judge before you can get a bond in that case, okay? And I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you in that case as well.
You have no bond on the VOP, you're gonna have to talk to your attorney and be in front of him.
All right, good luck, sir. All right, sir, your name?
Keith Bernard Young.
All right, Mr. Young, you're here in 2022 CF 10362AO and 2023 CF 3999AO. In CF 10362AO, it's a violation of probation warrant. The judge who signed that warrant set bond at none. We're going to stay the bond at none in that case. For 2023 CF 3999AO, it's 4 counts: possession of fentanyl, sale, delivery of cocaine, possession of sale, delivery of fentanyl, and possession of cocaine. The warrant, that was pursuant to a warrant. So probable cause determination's been previously made. We're going to stay the bonds as they came in on the warrant. Count 1, $7,500. Count 2, $250. Counts 3 and 4, $150 apiece. Going to also order as a condition of your bond in that case that you have no contact with any co-defendant. And you also, and I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you in that case as well.
But you have no bond on the VOP, so contact your attorney, talk to them about it, in more detail about your defenses and what's going on.
All right. All right. All right, 33-day motions, 23 MM1393AO, more.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
Sorry.
23 CF 2230AO, Suarez.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
23 CF 2755AO, LaBoy.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
23 CF 2663AO, Postel II.
Denied, and information was filed.
23 CF 2701AO, another Postel II.
Denied, and information was filed.
23 CF 2622AO, Barnett.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
23 MM1358AO, Nobles.
Denied, and information was filed.
23 CF 2605AO, Walker, no relation
Denied, and information was filed.
that I know of. 23 CF 2753AO Hardy.
Granted, notice and on filing.
23 MM 1483AO Judy.
Granted, notice and on filing.
23 CF 2460AO Singleton.
Granted, notice and on filing.
And 23 CF 1849AO Flowers.
Granted,
All right.
notice and on filing.
All right, we good at 12:30 again?
I don't know, they have a lot. Dime, you guys get at 12:30, 1 o'clock? 1 o'clock?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we'll do 1 o'clock.
Sorry, Judge, they have to go get.
I understand, yeah, they're
Go get 'em.
from all over.
Yeah.
That's all right. All right, so we'll be in recess until 1.
Good afternoon, Mr. Andino Munoz.
Buenas tardes, señor Andino Muñoz. Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Can you move that microphone just a little closer to you?
Por favor, si se acerca un poco más al micrófono.
Perfect.
Good afternoon, sir.
Mr. Andino Munoz, you are here based on an allegation of driving without a valid driver's license.
Señor Andino Muñoz, usted está aquí ante la acusación o la alegación de conducir sin licencia válida.
My apologies, it's driving while license suspended.
Perdón, la acusación es conducir con la licencia suspendida.
I have reviewed the charging affidavit, and there is probable cause.
He revisado el documento acusatorio y determino de que existe indicio razonable para la acusación.
You qualify for pretrial release, and you will be released to the pretrial release program.
Usted califica para la libertad condicional y será liberado bajo ese programa.
As a condition of your pretrial release, you are not to drive without a valid driver's license.
Como condición de la libertad condicional, usted no puede conducir sin una licencia válida.
I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent your interests.
Le designo al defensor público para que le represente.
Next court date, April 21st, in courtroom 4A at 9 a.m.
21 de febrero a las 9 de la mañana en la sala 4A es su próxima vista.
Thank you, sir.
Gracias, señor.
State of Florida versus Hector Delgado, 2021, CF 3561.
Katie appointed.
My apologies, Your Honor. The last 4 digits of the case number.
3561.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Of course. Good afternoon, Mr. Delgado.
Buenas tardes, señor Delgado.
Buenas tardes, señor.
Good afternoon, sir.
Mr. Delgado, it is alleged that you missed court with Judge Young.
Señor Delgado, se alega de que usted no compareció en la vista que tenía citada con el juez Young.
That's incorrect. You were charged by way of a direct information that was signed by Judge Young.
Eso es incorrecto lo que dije. Usted fue acusado directamente por medio de un documento acusatorio firmado por el juez Young.
Judge Young found probable cause for the allegation of possessing cocaine.
El juez Young determinó de que existía suficiente indicio razonable para la acusación de posesión de cocaína.
He set your bond in the amount of $1,000.
Fijó su fianza en la cantidad de $1,000.
I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent your interests.
Designo la representación del defensor público.
Thank you, sir.
Gracias, señor.
Next court date, April 11th, in courtroom 4F at 8:30 a.m.
De abril 11 a las 8:30 a.m. en la sala 4F es su próxima cita.
State of Florida versus Luis Fernandez Esquia, ESQUEA. Mr. Interpreter, the case number is 2020 CT 445.
Katie appointed.
Se le designa la representación del defensor público.
Good afternoon, Mr. Fernandez.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Mr. Fernandez, you were arrested based on an allegation that you missed trial with Judge Epperson.
Señor Fernández, usted fue arrestado basado en la alegación de que usted no se presentó para su juicio frente al juez Epperson.
Based on your non-appearance, Judge Epperson issued a warrant for your arrest with no bond.
Al resultado de no comparecer frente al juez Epperson, el juez emitió una orden de arresto sin fianza.
You're going to remain on no bond, and I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent your interests.
Usted permanecerá sin fianza y le designo al defensor público para que le represente.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Next court date, May 16th, in courtroom 5B at 2:30 p.m.
Mayo 16 a las 2 de la tarde en la sala 5B es su próxima vista.
One more case, Mr. Leon. Dervis Savi, Sivills, Artiaga, Artiaga, case number 2023, MM718.
PD appointed.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Sir, you are here based on an allegation of battery.
Señor, usted está aquí bajo la acusación de agresión.
I have reviewed the charging affidavit, and I do find probable cause for your initial arrest.
He revisado el documento acusatorio y determino de que existe suficiente indicio razonable para ejecutar su arresto.
I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you.
Le designo las oficinas del defensor público para que le represente.
Bond will be set in the amount of $500.
Fianza será fijada en la cantidad de $500.
As a condition of your bond, you may have no contact with the alleged victim in this case.
Como condición de la fianza, usted no puede tener contacto con la víctima en este caso.
And that would be Asmani Silva.
Asmani Silva es la dicha o el dicho víctima.
Ms. Acosta, would you like to ask the defendant if he has any personal property at that location?
Señorita Costa quiere preguntarle al acusado si él tiene alguna de sus pertenencias en la ubicación en la propiedad.
Yes, Your Honor. He indicated that he lives in the property, and then we requesting one-time return with the police enforcement.
Sí, su señoría, él ha indicado de que vive en la propiedad y estamos pidiendo, o por lo que estamos pidiendo, que pueda regresar una vez acompañado de las autoridades para recoger sus pertenencias.
As a condition of bond, the defendant will maintain a separate residence from Mr. Silva.
Como condición de la fianza, usted va a tener que permanecer en una residencia separada del señor Silva.
He may return one time with law enforcement present to get some personal property while this case is being handled.
Mientras que este caso está pendiente, usted puede regresar a la propiedad solamente una vez en la presencia de las autoridades para sacar sus pertenencias.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Next court date on demand.
La próxima cita para su audiencia será fijada.
Mr. Leon, thank you very much for your assistance.
At your service, Your Honor. Have a wonderful afternoon.
You as well. State of Florida versus Jamon Johnson. Afternoon, Mr. Johnson.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Mr. Johnson, you are here with us based on an outstanding warrant out of Orange County. In that case, it is alleged that you have violated probation in 2022 CF 2383. It's either an O or 0. Based on that information, the judge issued a warrant for your arrest. You have no bond. You're going to remain on no bond. We'll let Orange County know that you're here with us. Thank you. State of Florida versus Luis Ortiz Carrasquillo.
He might be still in the hospital, Your Honor. Your Honor, I was just informed that he's in the hospital. Can we reset this, Your Honor? Like, how long he's gonna be in the hospital?
Judge, we can put recess for when available.
Okay, Your Honor, he's outside of the jail right now, Sula County Jail, and,
Okay, so he's not even within the jail. We're going to reset until Mr. Ortiz Carrasquillo is available. State of Florida versus Angelita D. Carrasco.
PD appointed.
President approaching.
Ms. Carrasco, you are here based on an allegation that you have violated your probation. The allegations are a violation of Condition 5, which is a positive test, and a violation of Condition 7, alleged to have been possession of a controlled substance. Based on that information, Judge Beamer issued a warrant without a bond. You're going to remain on no bond until you can see him. I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent your interests.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Next court date, April 10th, in courtroom 5A at 8:45 a.m.
State of Florida versus Anef Hanafi.
PD appointed.
Good afternoon, sir.
Afternoon, Your Honor.
Did I pronounce your last name correctly? Is it Hanafi?
Pretty close. Thank you.
How do you prefer to have your name?
Hanafi's good. Anef's actually good. The only better way to do this would be if you were Arabic, but, you know.
Going to have a hard time with that, so if Hanafi is acceptable to you. Mr. Hanafi, you are here based on an allegation of petty theft, first offense. I have taken a look at the charging document and do find probable cause for your initial arrest. Court's going to appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. I will set bond in the amount of $500. There's a legal constraint. Officer Jenkins, do we know what that is?
Yes, sir. He have an open case in Polk County. He's out on bond, and he also have an open case in Lake County.
All right. Sounds like you got a couple issues in Lake and Polk County. I'm not going to take any action on those cases. I don't have authority to do that. In this case, you have a bond. Thanks.
Thank you.
Next court date on demand.
State of Florida versus Roberto Aguilar.
PD appointed. And Judge on that last case.
Yes.
How you doing, Your Honor?
Good afternoon, Mr. Aguilar.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Aguilar, you were arrested based on a domestic violence issue. I have read the charging affidavit, and I do find probable cause for your initial arrest. Do have some witnesses present. I'm going to be making some determinations of bond. Who do we have present?
My daughter Isabella, and I'm his wife Melissa.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, Isabella.
Good afternoon.
How old are you?
I'm 15.
All right. Let's place Isabella under oath, please.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you shall give in this case to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you.
Isabella, I'm going to be making some decisions this afternoon, and I'm happy to have any information that you wish to give me. The state of Florida is going to have an opportunity to ask you some questions when I'm done, as is Ms. Acosta, who's on the video screen. So the questions that I'd like to ask you are, I can order no contact between you and is Mr. Aguilar dad or stepdad?
He's my stepdad.
I can order no contact, which provides you the most protection, or I can order no hostile contact, which means that I would order him not to have any hostile contact, no more screaming matches, no putting his hands on you. I also would consider discussions about where your stepdad should be while this case is pending. Do you want to give me some information about your thoughts about those things?
I think that the no contact is unnecessary.
Is not necessary or is?
Unnecessary, not.
Okay. All right. Are you making that decision on your own, or have you talked to Mom about that? How did you arrive at that decision?
What?
How did you arrive at that decision?
My stepdad, this was a one-time occurrence, and I don't think that that should determine what goes on further.
Okay. Looks like you were sufficiently scared enough to run out of the house and call the police. Is that right? Do you have fear, Mr. Aguilar?
Not at all.
Has this, you've indicated this was a one-time thing. You haven't observed any other issues like this in the past?
Never.
Right, thank you. Mr. Jackson, do you have any questions of this young lady?
No, Your Honor.
Do you have a cell phone?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Ms. Acosta, do you have any questions of this young lady?
Your Honor, we couldn't hear her, but I believe that she says that she want to contact with Mr. Aguilar.
She was requesting contact. That would be no hostile contact, and indicated she did not have fear, indicated that this was a one-time occurrence. So, all right, I will consider your thoughts on the matter and moving forward. Thank you.
I also have a letter to give to you, and I would like you to take it into consideration.
Okay, the letter that you want to give to me, is it about the facts of the case, or what's it about?
It's about facts and how he acts in the home.
Okay, all right, I'm happy to receive that. Now, once it's received, I'm going to put it in the court file, but it will be confidential.
Okay.
All right, thank you. All right, thanks. I'm going to put this in the court file, and it will be available to the attorneys to consider, and the state will need to take a look at that to make a decision as to whether they wish to move forward on this case, and any defense attorneys will be allowed to take a look at it as well. Is that okay with you? All right. Okay, I have read your thoughts on the matter. Thank you for coming to court. Are you in school? Okay. Did you get pulled out early today? Okay. Good luck in school. You're almost done with this year. Why don't you have a seat for me? Mr. Aguilar, as to the current issue, the court, well, let me hear out the state. State, do you have thoughts on conditions of bond?
We asked just no hostile contact order be put in place, Your Honor.
Ms. Acosta?
Yes, we are going to return to their property and no hostile contact as well.
All right, the court has found probable cause that there is at least that level of proof to substantiate the arrest that has happened. As to this case, the court will set a bond in the amount of $500. Mr. Aguilar will have non-hostile contact with the alleged victim, his stepdaughter, who is a child. And why don't I get some testimony from Mom real quick? Ma'am, if you'll come on up.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you shall give in this case will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Ma'am, do you have any fear of Mr. Aguilar coming back into the home for yourself or for your children? How many children in the home?
2.
Right, what are their ages? 15 and
17.
17?
Yeah.
Right, thank you. Any questions, State?
Yeah, just one. Is Mr. Aguilar the sole financial provider in the household?
He is.
Okay, no further questions.
Ms. Acosta, any questions of this witness?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, thank you for that information, ma'am. That's the misdemeanor case in 23 MM 711. The court will allow Mr. Aguilar to return to the family home as a condition of this bond. Mr. Aguilar, the bigger problem that we have is that you are on probation in 2018 CF 2889. Based on the allegations that you are on probation for, you qualify as a violent felony offender of special concern. Whether I agree with that designation or not is beyond my sphere of influence. It is a legal designation which denies you a right to be considered for bond. I find an on-view violation of probation based on there being probable cause that you have violated the law while you were on probation, and as such, you are not eligible for bond on that case. That obviously didn't have anything to do with your family. That was something that happened back in 2018. So you are going to remain with us on that case without bond. The state of Florida will be making a filing decision should they determine that they are not moving forward with prosecution as to these allegations. The court will consider that a change in circumstance, and your attorney can bring you back before the court for consideration of release. I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender on that case as well. Thank you. All right, thank you for attending court. State of Florida versus Jessica Aponte, 2023 MM 712.
Person in approaching. I didn't have an application.
Two cases?
I didn't have an application.
Thank you.
I don't know if she is appointed or.
All right, do you go by Ms. Aponte or Ms. Cruz?
Ms. Cruz.
Ms. Cruz, you are here based on an allegation of battery, domestic violence related. I have taken a look at the charging affidavit, and I do find probable cause for your initial arrest. This is an allegation of battery, domestic violence related. There were injuries observed by law enforcement. The court is going to, what is the legal constraint which disqualifies her from pretrial release?
She have a warrant out of Ohio for domestic violence.
So I guess they're not willing to extradite.
No, sir, in surrounding states only.
All right. So pending issue up north, it's for similar circumstances. The court is going to set a bond in the amount of $1,000 plus the following conditions. You're to have no contact whatsoever with Jeffrey Chambers. You may not return to the Guinevere court address. I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent your interests. I'll allow you to return one time with law enforcement and get some personal property. I understand you got some minor children. Are they living at that address?
Yes, sir.
Do you have a family member or a place to go?
No, sir. I moved here from Ohio. I don't have no friends or family here. I have nowhere else to go with my kids.
I can't remove Mr. Chambers from the home, and I've got no additional information with which to make any determinations regarding contact. So that's going to be the order of the court. Your attorney can get you in front of your trial judge for reconsideration once they have an opportunity to dig into the case a little bit. I'll allow you to return one time with law enforcement to obviously take possession of your children, and if you choose to do so, and get some personal property to tide you over while this case is pending. Thank you.
Next court date on demand.
State of Florida versus Sheena Dubois, 2023 MM 714.
PD appointed.
No, I think she bonded.
Let me see if oh, yes, Judge, they did bond.
Your Honor, you called Brooksheeta Betty?
We called Sheena Dubois, and I was informed that she bonded, so
Yes, oh, thank
the panhandling business trustee. Going well. State of Florida versus Daniel Grevely, 2023 CF 946.
Daniel?
I believe that was also bond, Judge.
He's in the case, Your Honor.
Sorry?
He's in the case. Can you give us 1 minute so he can?
Not a problem.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, sir. Standing to your right is Ms. Acosta. She's Assistant Public Defender, and she's an attorney. Have you had a chance to talk with her yet?
No, Your Honor, I have not.
All right.
If you could allow me maybe 2 minutes to maybe speak with her.
Ms. Acosta, were you able to talk with Mr. Grevely?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thanks. Is he in the cage because of discipline issues, or is it because of the nature of the offense?
Because of the, oh, because there's co-defendant right here, so they
I understand.
So they want to try to keep them.
I understand. All right, I want you to advise Mr. Grevely as what the allegations are against him. If there's a waiver, once he understands what those allegations are, I can accept that. We'll talk about conditions of bond. Let's recall Mr. Grevely's case, please. Thanks. There's a related case, Gabrielle Groff. Have you had a chance to talk to Ms. Groff, Ms. Acosta?
No, Your Honor.
All right, let's skip over Ms. Groff's case as well. We'll do them last. State of Florida versus Timothy Jessup, 2023 MM 715.
President approaching, Your Honor.
Thanks.
PD appointed.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Mr. Jessup. Mr. Jessup, you are with us based on an allegation of petty theft, second offense. I've taken a look at the affidavit. Do you find probable cause? Your bond's going to be set in the amount of $1,000. You may not return to the CVS at 1300. Yes.
The defense has a probable cause argument regarding this case.
Okay.
If I'm allowed, when I read the affidavit, the officer says that there was empty merchandise boxes, but there's not this in packaging, but there's not the items there that we can see, like actually, like where the power bank chargers and the eye drops and the hair dry come from, because if you read the first paragraph, the officer just wrote that the CBS, what's her name? The manager, Alba Briones, that she just mentioned about empty merchandise boxes.
I'm looking at the affidavit from Officer Elder. Officer Elder indicates after viewing security footage, he observed the defendant remove merchandise from the shelves, remove the items from their packaging, conceal the items, and leave the store without paying. I find that that's sufficient to establish probable cause for the allegation of petty theft. That's a petty theft under $100. I do resonate to the argument that there is nothing in the affidavit to indicate that there were any prior theft convictions. So bond will be set. I find probable cause for a petty theft, not second offense. Bond's going to be set the amount of $500, and he's not to return to the CVS.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Is there anybody we can release on all recognizance or pretrial so I can go to work? 'Cause I
You don't qualify for pretrial release, Mr. Jessup, and that's based on what, Officer Jenkins?
I'm sorry, what did he say?
Hold on just a sec. I'll tell you exactly why I'm not going to release you RR.
He have a warrant out of Michigan.
You got a warrant out of Michigan, Mr. Jessup.
Right, I was here 2 days ago, and they were not willing to extradite me.
I understand that.
I was here 2 days ago, and they incarcerated me, then they released me after they found out Michigan didn't want to come and get me.
Yeah, that doesn't mean that you don't have an active warrant, just not that they're going to pick you up from our jail. So I'm not going to release you ROR, and you don't qualify for pretrial release. I've given you a standard bond for a first-time petty theft, which is $500, and I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent your interests. Thanks. State of Florida, Lisa Johnson, 23 MM 716.
PD appointed.
Lisa Johnson.
She refused, Your Honor.
Okay.
I don't know why she refused. Can we reset this case for tomorrow, Your Honor?
Yes, we'll give it one more try tomorrow.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thanks. She's currently out on bond, so it's unlikely she's going to be going anywhere. State of Florida versus Jason Santos.
PD appointed.
President approaching.
Good afternoon, Mr. Santos.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Got two cases with us. The first is 2023 CF 867. That is an allegation of possession under 20 grams of marijuana. I do find probable cause for that arrest. We'll set bond the amount of $250 and appoint the Office of the Public Defender. There was also recently a warrant issued. Judge Carestes has found probable cause for the allegations of sale or delivery of cocaine, unlawful use of a two-way communication device, and delivery of drug paraphernalia. She has assigned bonds in count one, the amount of $15,000, count two in the amount of $100, and count three in the amount of $100 for a total bond amount of $15,200 in case number 2023 MM 898, and it's an extra $250 for 23 MM 717. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender on both of those cases. Thanks.
Next court date on demand.
State of Florida versus Sean Sutton, 2023, CF 949.
He's out on, bond on 23 CF 867.
Let's bring back Mr. Santos real quick.
President approaching, Your Honor.
Thanks.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Welcome back, Mr. Santos. Mr. Santos, you were also out on bond on 2023 CF 8.
No, Your Honor. His name is Sean.
Oh, we'll do Mr. Sutton's case, and then I need to do Mr. Santos's case again. Mr. Sutton, you are here based on an allegation of grand theft auto, based on a review of your criminal history and the circumstances of this case. You qualify for direct pretrial release. You will be released pretrial release. You are not to... No additional conditions for you. So talk to the PTR people and you should be getting out. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent your interests.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes, sir. Let's recall Mr. Santos's case.
Ms. Jenkins, what was that case number?
23 CF 867.
Mr. Santos, I neglected to notice that you were out on bond on another case. That's 2023 CF 867. Do we have the date that he was released on bond?
Out on bond on 3/23/23.
All right. All right, this is alleged to have, at least 2023 CF 898 was alleged to have occurred before you were released on bond, so that law offense will not violate the conditions and terms of your bond. The possession of marijuana case, however, will. Court finds probable cause that you committed a new law offense. And as such, your bond on 2023 CF 867 is revoked, currently going to be set at none. You can make that petition in front of your trial judge, and I'll tell you who that is. Who's got 2023 CF 867? It's going to be Judge Beamer. If you didn't have the PD on that case, I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent your interest in 2023 CF 867. So you may want to hold off on posting those other bonds till that situation gets resolved. Thanks. State of Florida versus Jonathan Vargas Rodriguez.
PD appointed.
President approaching, Your Honor.
Thanks. Good afternoon, Mr. Vargas.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Vargas, you were arrested based on driving while your license was suspended or revoked. I've taken a look at the affidavit. Do you find probable cause? You qualify for direct pretrial release. I will release you to the pretrial release program. You are not to drive without a valid driver's license as a condition of the pretrial release program, and I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent your interests.
I greatly appreciate that, Your Honor.
Yes, sir. Good luck.
Next court date, April 21st in courtroom 4A at 9 a.m.
State of Florida versus Scott Walsh, 2023, MM 719.
PD appointed.
President approaching.
Good afternoon, Mr. Walsh. You are here based on an allegation that you failed to leave a property after warning, and it looks like that was previously trespassed, at the 1151 Robinson Avenue in St. Cloud address. I find probable cause for your trespass. I'm going to lower your bond to the amount of $250, and I will appoint, oh, he qualifies for PTR?
Yes, sir.
Give me just a sec.
I was told I qualified for PTR on the.
Yeah, I'm just, I missed that. Let me take a look at where you're not supposed to go back to. I can't tell what kind of business or personal property is it. 1151 Robinson Avenue. You should be aware of a blanket trespass order.
Can I make a quick statement, Your Honor?
I don't think your attorney would want you talking to me, and I'm not going to be your trial judge. Let me appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. Why don't you run that through Ms. Acosta, and then if you want to tell me something, I'll be happy to hear you out.
Yes, Your Honor. So I found that it was the address, but not the name of the place, Your Honor.
Yeah, I'm looking online. It's either the back of a retail establishment or a section of woods. Regardless, there was an active trespass that they are referencing the St. Cloud Police Report. It's 22-2311. It indicates in the charging affidavit, which I have to assume is true at this point in making a probable cause determination, that there was a previous arrest at the location on April 22nd, 2022, and there was a return to the property on 3/29/2023. Whether that pans out in a criminal prosecution remains to be seen. I do find probable cause for the arrest. Bonds, I'm going to release him on pretrial release. Mr. Walsh, do you have a place to be if you're released to the pretrial release program?
Yes, I can go to family. If I would, can I still?
I'm having a tough time hearing you, Mr. Walsh. Why don't you take a step forward?
Yes, I can go to my family's house. I would still like to make a statement.
Okay, I'm happy to hear you out.
The statement is that only reason I was there, I was responding to calls of help, and I went there to give CPR. When I got there, the young lady was unconscious. I initiated CPR for 15 minutes until the cops came. The cop took over CPR, and I waved in the ambulance. And there's a fence line. I don't want to get into the facts of my case, but the patch of woods I was trespassed from was on the other side of the fence. But, I mean, I'm trying not to get into the facts of my case, but...
I think you did a little bit, but I understand that you may have a defense of necessity as to why you were there. That's a discussion with your attorney. I'm going to release you the pretrial release program, so you won't have to put up money to get out. You just need to give them a valid address, And whether the state of Florida decides to file charges on this case or not after they get some information from your attorney is going to be up to them. I can't make that call for them. So while I appreciate that you may have a defense to your case, like I said, this isn't really the time to discuss it, and I'm not going to be your trial judge anyway.
On, when you looked up on the property line, when you said it was, regardless whether or not it was the patch of woods or it was the back of an establishment, what did that mean?
I just looked up the address because I couldn't tell what it was. I just looked it up on Google Earth.
Right, but it would matter, right?
If you face one way, it's one thing. If you face the other way, it's the other thing. That's a discussion. So that's another potential defense that you need to discuss with an attorney. I'm not saying that the state's going to decide whether to file charges or not. So, but at this point, I'm just trying to get you out of jail on pretrial release. So just give them a place where you're going to be and comply with the conditions of pretrial release. One of those conditions is, I don't care what's going on at that address, you can't go back there because you know that there's an active trespass. That's going to be as a condition of your pretrial release. Thanks.
Your Honor, if I have a moment to talk to Daniel and Mrs. Gabrielle.
Of course. Let me know when you're ready.
Thank you.
We have an update for Betty Brookshire.
Brookshire, I didn't see that one in the list.
Brookshire, bonded.
Thanks, Officer Jenkins. Here's our reset. So are you a witness on any of our initial appearance cases?
No, Your Honor, I'm just family to these two.
Got it. Thanks.
So we ready, Your Honor, and then
Right.
Mr. Daniel Gabriel, we will request to waive the formality.
All right, thanks. State of Florida versus Gabrielle Groff, 2023, CF 947.
The reading of the charges.
Good afternoon, Ms. Groff.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Groff, you have had an opportunity to speak with Ms. Acosta, who's a representative of the Office of the Public Defender. Has she explained to you what the allegations are against you?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, or the reason for your arrest, my apology. All right, then the court is going to accept a waiver of the reading of the reasons for your arrest, find that you are aware of what those allegations are.
Thank you.
Court is going to find probable cause. I'm going to set bond in the amount of $1,000 plus the following conditions. While this is getting sorted out, you're not going to be permitted to have contact with the alleged victim in this case, which is Daniel Jr. Doesn't mean that that won't be the decision of a court later on, but at this initial stage, I'm going to order no contact, and so that means exactly what it sounds like. You can't contact him through social media, through electronic, through a third party. Are there other children at the home stay? Hold on, let me ask Ms. Acosta, do we know if there's other children and the ages?
There are two more children? Yes. There are two more children, Your Honor?
Do we know if there is an active DCF involvement?
Yes, Your Honor, as for the affidavit. I saw
children
that
were
there's a DCF involvement.
St. Cloud PD and then met with DCF.
Okay. All right, as far as contact with the other unlisted children, I'm going to leave that in the Department of Children and Families' capable hands, and I don't believe I've got jurisdiction anyway to affect contact with any other child. As to the listed victim, Daniel Jr., there will be no contact. Court will, there's no reason not to allow you to return to the old Canoe Creek address. So it's $1,000, no contact with Daniel Jr. You may return home, and I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent your interests. You understand?
Old Canoe Creek, Your Honor, I don't live there.
Oh, my apologies. That may have been where the...
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you're correct.
So I can return back
you
to
may
my
re-
residence?
You may return to the Wadeview Loop address. All right. Thank you. So I've appointed a public defender. I've set a bond for you and set the bond conditions of contact with the alleged child victim. Thank you. State of Florida versus Daniel Grevely.
I don't have an application for this defendant, Judge.
Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Mr. Grevely. All right, Mr. Grevely, do we have any prior criminal history on either of these defendants? Not a problem.
You said both of them?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Give me just a minute.
Criminal history, Your Honor.
Thank you, Officer Jenkins.
And, Mr. Grevlin Daniel, out of Orange County, 2008 aggravated battery, 2017 battery DV, out of New York, 1999 resisting officer, obstruct government administration.
All right, thank you. Mr. Grevely, you are, Mr. Costa, you requesting a waiver of reading?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that you've had an opportunity to speak with Mr. Grevely, advise him as to the allegations against him.
Yes, Your Honor. The defense is requesting the reading of the charge.
I can't hear you, Mr. Costa.
Yeah, the waiving of the charge, the reading of the charge, Your Honor.
Okay, court's going to find that Mr. Grevely is aware of the allegation against him. I'm going to set bond in Mr. Grevely's case in the amount of $1,500 with the following condition. He not have any contact with the minor child victim. He will be allowed to return to the Wadeview Loop address. As a condition of bond, Mr. Grevely is to conduct no corporal punishment on the children. And as to contact with the other minor children, DCF has been notified, and I will leave that issue in their capable hands. Anything further from the state on either of these defendants?
Only that the no corporal punishment be added to Ms. Groff's.
Court's going to add a condition to Ms. Groff's condition of bond as well, no corporal punishment, please, of the children. He's welcome to do so. We may have a potential witness in the case, sir. You can come on up. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Tell me your name, please.
My name is Ivan Barrios.
All right, thanks. And your relationship to Gabrielle Groff and Daniel Grevely.
Their family. I served with Daniel Grevely in Afghanistan.
Thank you.
United States Army.
Yes, sir. All right, let's.
May you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you shall give in this case to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me your name one more time.
Ivan Barrios.
Thank you, Mr. Barrios. I have set conditions of bond, monetary amounts, and conditions of contact with the alleged minor child victim. What would you like me to know?
Well, Your Honor, I've known these guys since forever, and I know they've had their ups and downs. I'm just coming to the court. I'm going to bond both of them out today, and it would make it easier on me if you could maybe lessen it just a little bit so I can do this so they can get home. At least one of them can get home to their children. I know their children are, I don't know who they're with right now, but I know they want to be with their mom and dad.
Sure.
So it would help me out tremendously. It would help them out, the whole situation.
Mr. Barrios, that's a reasonable request. These are third-degree felony allegations, and those, believe it or not, are fairly reasonable bonds based on the allegations. I appreciate your request. I'm not going to lower the bonds.
Yes, sir.
If you speak two-way bondsmen, they'll probably be able to work with you as far as what you actually have to come up with. But I'm glad that you're involved in their lives, and good luck.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir, Mr. Barrios. All right, Mr. Grevely, that's going to conclude our hearing. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender on your case as well. It's likely that you may be receiving conflict-free counsel. One or the other of you may be receiving conflict-free counsel should the charges be filed.
Thank you, Your Honor. You have a wonderful afternoon.
You as well.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you for your help, Ms. Acosta.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes, sir, Mr. Barrios. All right, State, thanks for your help. Officer Jenkins, good to see you as always.
Lee had two?
It's 2 out on
Oh,
bond.
2 on bond.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. Well, I'll take no action on either one of those. Uh-huh. All right, ma'am, your name?
It's Amy Milliken.
All right, Ms. Milliken, you're here on one count of resisting an officer without violence. Viewed the arrest affidavit. I do determine there's probable cause. This is 2023 MM 2183. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. What's that bond in the count one at $250? I'm a question for, I want you to tell your attorney, but I want you to tell me. The 3312 Monica Circle, is that where she lives? Is that her address?
Yes, Your Honor.
So this crime scene, was that at her house?
It was at her parents' house, Your Honor, but she is currently residing there.
All right, I'm not going to order you not to return there. But I will, as a condition of release, require you to not interfere with any investigation related to what happened there, okay? All right. Good luck, ma'am. All right, ma'am, your name?
Tasia Edwards.
All right, Ms. Edwards, this is 2023 MM 2186AO. There was a time served offer, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor. State did convey an offer to Ms. Edwards of an adjudication and credit for 1 day.
All right, Ms. Edwards, so the state's made an offer of credit time served. It'd be entering a plea to the offense of resisting an officer without violence. We'd sentence you to 1 day in the Orange County Jail with credit for 1 day time served. This is a criminal offense. You have constitutional rights as it relates to this offense, including the right to an attorney. the right to go to trial, the right to have the state prove the charges against you, the right to call your own witnesses, the right to confront the state's witnesses, all those rights associated with going to trial, have the right to an attorney assist you through the trial. If you want to resolve your case here today, you'll be waiving those rights, and you'd be sentenced according to the agreement, which was credit time served, or you can not accept the state's offer, and I'd be inclined to set the bond at, at $100, and you'd just have a bond, but you may get court dates in the future. So what would you like to do?
I just want to confirm that
Yep.
I'm sure I do another day in jail?
No,
Or I already have the time served.
we'd sentence you to 1 day with credit for the 1 day that you've already served.
Okay.
So you'd be released as relates to this charge today. There's also court costs of $273. I give you, all right. All right, so the attorney next to you, she's got a plea form.
Okay.
The plea form, on the top of the plea form lists the rights. We talked about all the rights associated with going to trial. And by signing the bottom of that plea form, it says you understand those rights and you understand you're waiving those rights by entering a plea here today.
Okay.
The bottom part of that plea form talks some of the consequences of entering a plea, including if you're not a U.S. citizen, you'll be subject to deportation. If you've ever been convicted of a sexually motivated or sexually violent offense, you could be subject to involuntary civil commitment. And if you're on probation for a separate offense, a plea to this offense might be used to violate that probation. You understand all that?
Correct.
All right, you can sign the bottom of that and we'll,
No, I'm not on
Okay.
probation. at the
I would
moment.
advise you not to take it if you want. Just
And can I ask you something, Judge?
sure,
They said that I missed a court appearance?
I don't have that.
Okay.
She has a first appearance detainer, Your Honor. She's on pretrial diversion. She has an open case.
Okay, all right.
Is that?
Here's the thing too.
Yeah.
You're in pretrial diversion for a separate case, right?
Yeah, but they haven't spoken with me about that since our last court day. I haven't been officiated to go do probation or anything.
Right. Well, here's the here, it's not a problem. It's just, I want you to be aware that there's a chance you might be kicked out of the diversion program because of this new law offense, okay?
Okay.
If you enter a plea to it, that might have consequences as it relates to diversion. You're still free to do whatever you want to do. I just want you to be aware of that consequence. You understand that?
Sweet.
And are you taking no action on that PTD case, Your Honor?
Yeah, no action.
It's 2020 CF 014610 AO.
Here's what we're gonna do. I'm not gonna, because it's a felony that you're going to diversion on, I'm not gonna take a plea here today. State any objection to ROR. I just don't want her to plead to something and then her get kicked out of diversion and then have a felony be, on her record.
Your Honor, state is concerned regarding an ROR, because I believe that out on bond is a battery, a bat Leo, and this one is a resisting without, so also a,
Oh, it was a bat Leo?
yes,
That Leo and a resisting with violence.
just given the
All right.
similar nature, state would object to an ROR.
I still don't want to take a plea today.
And Your Honor, defense understands the state's position. However, due to the lack of convictions and limited criminal history, and we would be asking for ROR still.
All right, I understand state's concerns. The fact that she's in diversion for a felony, the fact that this was resisting without, it was really just, and if I'm misremembering, correct me, like they told her to get out of the car and she didn't get out of the car. Or what was it? I mean, that was pretty much the extent of it, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so the court's gonna ROR you on this. I'm just gonna admonish you that you're in pretrial diversion on felony. You're not a convicted felon. Becoming a convicted felon.
She does have a felony conviction, Your Honor,
She does?
for
Oh,
battery on Leo.
That's not on her face sheet.
she does?
Yes, Your Honor.
Which one?
It's
Is it out of state?
Tasia Edwards? No, it's a Florida conviction. I believe I put an updated sheet in your pile, Your Honor.
Richardson?
And there was
No,
also,
what's
This
it?
is Edwards, Your Honor.
What did I do with hers? Sorry, because she got shuffled around a little bit. I don't know if it even
I can give you my sheet if you want to look at it quickly, Your Honor.
A prior reckless, a prior resisting.
Yeah, 4/8/2021, last conviction, bad Leo. So it's listed on her face sheet, on this one.
I must have a different face sheet.
And there was also a prior capias on her out on bond as well.
All right. Well, never mind. If you want to plea today, you can plea today, or I can set a bond. I was trying to keep you from becoming a convicted felon, but it looks like you have a prior felony conviction, so.
I was never convicted, from what I remember, so. Yeah, no, I'm not trying to stay here any longer.
So you heard everything that's going on and the uncertainties and the issues with that potential PTD.
What was that case number? I'm just gonna look it up.
Which one, Your Honor?
The one said
The one that she's on?
conviction?
Oh, the conviction? I don't have the case number, Your Honor. I'd have to run her history. We just have the last conviction date.
That's what the pretrial.
TASIA.
Sorry.
1 second. We're gonna get to the bottom of it.
Possible that might be the pretrial diversion case. I apologize. I'm going to look into it myself, Your Honor.
Yeah, we just want to get it right. You're welcome.
The only previous things that I pull up for her.
I got 2020 CF 14610.
That is her PTD case.
I believe,
But that, yeah, there may be another one. That's the PTD case.
I have a 18 reckless driving adjudication. I have an 18 resisting without and reckless driving withhold. She had an 18 battery that was no prost.
May not have been in this county, too.
That's, I'm checking, I'm on CCIS.
Okay.
I should have Florida, but I don't know if she's ever lived out of state.
I think there was something that resolved that started as a felony, but then was down filed. So I don't know if that's what we're seeing.
Excuse me.
That was a possession, right?
I'm
Resisting
running her in just quickly, too.
There was a case, 18 CF 12431. That was a felony that ended up resolving as a resisting without reckless. That's probably what it is. I don't know what that case came in as, though. 1 second.
But what's the date of the conviction?
On
On the face sheet?
April 8th, 2021.
Is that when she took PTD?
All right.
Your Honor,
Just to be safe. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say that April 8th is when she took the PTD offer, according to the clerk of court site.
Oh, so that may be what.
It says, looking from what I'm seeing, the case, defendant was referred to pretrial diversion on 4/8/2021.
Okay, then
Yeah.
that makes sense. All right, so I'm gonna ROR you on the resisting without. I've appointed the Office of the Public Defender to represent you in this case. You're gonna wanna you're gonna wanna contact them as soon as you get out of here and let them know what's going on, especially given your status in diversion, on the felony case. So, and then I'll just admonish you, like I said, it appears from, if you're not a convicted felon, becoming a convicted felon shuts a lot of doors, you're still relatively young, makes life a lot harder for you going forward. So while you're in the diversion program, it's very important that you keep stay out of trouble, stay away from people who get into trouble, because if you're around it, you get caught up in all that, and then you get kicked out of diversion, and then there's a chance you do become a convicted felon, makes it harder for you to get a loan, rent an apartment, go to school, essentially exist in this country if you're a convicted felon, okay? So, you gotta be thinking long-term. All right, good luck, ma'am.
Stay in touch with your attorney. I would call them as soon as possible, like he said, because the other case is going to take it back.
Okay, thank you.
Good luck.
All right, sir, your name?
Marcus Richardson.
All right, Mr. Richardson, you're here on one count of trespass, refusal to leave. 2023 MM2180AO. Is there an offer in this case?
There was an offer to resolve, Your Honor, an adjudication, 7 days OCJ with credit for 2, and no return to Walt Disney Properties. The reason for the 7 days is the March 3rd, 2023 trespass
Yeah,
was at the same location, and he received 4 days.
okay.
And Your Honor, Ms. George did have competency concerns. I haven't had an opportunity to personally speak with him.
I understand. Well, if there's concerns, we're not gonna do it today. I'm gonna stay the bond, well, I'm gonna stay the bond at $500. I'm gonna order that you do not return to any Walt Disney World property. You're also out on bond for a trespass at a Walmart. We're gonna take no action on that one, okay? I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. Good luck, sir. All right,
This is a credit time served offer.
all right. Well, we'll reset Mr. Stork for tomorrow. Who's ever here tomorrow, tell Judge Craner not to send me a nasty email. All right, Acosta bonded. All right, sir, your name? All right, Mr. Charles, you're here for a warrant for a failure to appear for 2 counts of petty theft. The bond on the warrant is $500 as to each count.
And state did convey an offer to Mr. Charles of an adjudication, credit for time served, and no return to Famous Footwear at 5580 International, and Yuck Skate Shop at 5534 International. And cost of investigation is $236.76 to OPD.
All right, we have the opportunity to speak about that with Mr. Charles. Did the attorney talk with you about that back there?
No, Your Honor.
All right. All right, so the state's offer to resolve your case that you failed to appear on is that you enter a plea of no contest to each count, be adjudicated guilty as to each count, sentenced to credit time served, and that you do not return to the Famous Footwear or the skate shop where these thefts were alleged to have occurred. There's also court costs. You have the right to go to trial on these offenses. You have all the rights associated with going to trial, like the right to an attorney, right to call witnesses, right to confront the state's evidence, have the state prove the charges against you to a jury beyond a reasonable doubt. If you resolve your case here today, you'll be waiving those rights, and there's not going to be a trial. So, or you can maintain, you have bonds on this, so you have 500 on each count. You don't have to resolve it today, but if you want to, you can. If you don't, you can bond out. You'll get a court date in the future. What would you like to do? You have the right to an attorney either way, so if you want to.
If you want more time to think about it, you don't have to take the offer today, but this is the offer for today. Do you understand the rights you're giving up and what that all entails? And this is just to resolve this case, so if you have anything else going on. Your Honor, he's informed me that he does wish to take the offer to resolve.
All right, there's a plea form right there on the table, right in front of you, okay? The top of that plea form, do you read and understand English?
Yes.
All right. So the top of the plea form talks about all those rights we were talking about, the right to an attorney, call witnesses, all that. And it says, by signing that plea form, you're saying you understand that by resolving your case here today, you're giving up those rights. You understand that? Do you understand that? All right. I see you shaking your head, just everything is being recorded, so I have to ask that you answer yes or no into the microphone because the record of everything that's going on here today is being made. So, sir, how far did you go in school? Huh?
12th grade.
All right. How you feeling today? Hearing any voices? Anybody talking to you? Anything like that? All right. You ever hear voices in the past? No? You ever think TV's talking to you or anything like that? All right. You currently taking any medication?
No.
No? Have you ever been prescribed medication for any mental illness, anything like that?
No.
No? All right, do you understand everything that's happening here today?
Yes, sir.
All right, what are you charged with?
Petty theft?
All right. You know how many counts of petty theft?
2.
All right. All right. You on probation for any other offense?
No.
You understand that by entering a plea to a theft offense, that any subsequent theft charge may be enhanced based on prior convictions? Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. You still want to resolve your case here today?
Yes, sir.
All right. You under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication that's affecting your ability to understand what's happening here today?
No, sir.
All right. Anyone threaten you or coerce you to enter this plea?
No, sir.
All right. You understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, a plea to this offense will subject you to deportation?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. Well, accept the no contest plea. How much time serves you
I have 2 days.
on the failure to appear? I guess the first, it was a notice to appear initially.
That's what
All right. Whatever it is, you're going to get credit for it. We'll adjudicate you guilty, give you, sentence you to,
KPS for drugs.
who's that?
Mr.
Listen.
Charles, I believe.
He's got a warrant?
I believe he has an open KPS from 3-4 days ago.
Yeah.
So if he were walking out, he potentially would be.
All
I
right.
don't know if they have a hold or.
Do you have that pretrial? Yeah.
We don't have a hold for it. It might not have gotten to warrants yet.
I have it in 22 CF 11298. Was a failure to appear at trial management in front of Judge Navarro.
What's that charge?
Possession of dimethylpentalone.
What was the case number again?
22 CF 011298 AO.
All right, sir, what's going on is there might be a warrant for a failure to appear in a separate case, all right? A felony case, a possession case. If that's the case, I'm assuming that bond's probably set at none.
It is. It's set at none.
So he's not gonna get out.
Well, there is no hold for it yet, so if it hasn't gotten to warrants, we can't put a hold on for him, but we can certainly look into it.
Your Honor, I'll let his attorney know so that they can communicate about what needs to be done.
All right. All right. So he has an attorney on that case?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, sir, you're gonna need to call your attorney. If you do get out of here today, we can still take the plea if that's what you wanna do. But there's a chance that you're not gonna be released today because there's a warrant in that felony case, all right? And even if you are released today, that warrant's still outstanding. You get picked up, it's been brought to our attention that there's no bond on that warrant, so you're probably gonna wanna talk to your attorney in that case as soon as you get out of here, if you do get out of here, okay? All right. All right, so to the petty thefts, we'll accept the no contest plea. It's to each count, we'll adjudicate you guilty. Order that you do not return, well, sentence you to, is it 2 days? 2 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served as to each count to run concurrent with each other. Also, on count 1, we order that you do not return to 5580 International Drive. Count 2, we'll order that you do not return to 5534 International Drive. Court costs and costs of investigation are $236.76 to the Orange County, or to the Orlando Police Department. Plus the court costs, I'll give you 1 year from the date of your release, whenever that may be, to take care of the financial obligations. Otherwise, there's gonna be a suspension on your driver's license, all right? All right, good luck, sir.
Good luck.
All right, so your name?
Ronnie Lee Pruitt.
Stinson bonded? Oh, I'm sorry. All right, Mr. Pruitt, this is 2022 MM8450AO. It's a failure to appear for a petty theft in that case.
State did give me an offer to Mr. Pruitt of an adjudication credit, no return to the 7-Eleven at 49999 West Oak Ridge Road, and cost investigation to OPD in the amount of $112.
All right, we accepting that offer, or we, you want to stay the bond? What do you want to do?
Yeah, it's time, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm set this, sir.
All right. So you understand, there's a plea form right there. We'll go over it real quick. Top of the plea form talks about all the rights you have. This is a second-degree misdemeanor. Maximum penalty, 60 days in jail, 6 months probation, $500 fine, any combination of the three. You have rights by being charged with a criminal offense. You have certain constitutional rights, including the right to an attorney, the right to go to trial, right to call witnesses, confront the state's evidence, have the state prove the charges against you. By resolving your case here today, you understand you're giving up all those rights?
Yes, sir.
All right. You understand that this, by entering a plea to a theft offense, that any subsequent theft, arrest, or charges can be enhanced based on the prior conviction? Do you understand that? All right. Yeah, do you understand that if you're on probation for a separate offense, a plea to that offense, a plea to this offense might be used to violate that probation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, a plea to this offense will subject you to deportation?
Yes, sir.
All right. You under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication that's affecting your ability to understand what's happening here today?
Sir.
Anyone threaten you or coerce you to enter this plea?
No, sir.
All right, well, accept the no contest plea, we'll adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to, how many?
3 days, Judge.
All right, sent you to 3 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for the 3 days that you already served. You'll be released as it relates to this charge today. You also be ordered not to return to 4999 West Oak Ridge Road, that's the 7-Eleven. Can't go back there. There's also court costs and cost of investigation of $112 to the Orlando Police Department. Give you 1 year from the date of your release to take care of the financial obligations, otherwise the clerk's gonna suspend your driver's license, all right?
Yes, sir.
All right, good luck, sir. All right.
I believe the,
And state's gonna announce a null pros.
All right, 2014, 2014 MM1416AW, state announced the null pros.
Yes, Judge.
All right,
And I'm following it up with the clerk right now.
all right, thank you. Almost. All right, sir, your name? Oh, okay. Diaz bonded.
Christian Ayala.
Angel Roblero,
Yeah.
hold on.
bonded. All right, we're getting there. A couple of these people bonded out, so we're getting to you, sir. Barrios Ayala, that's you? Okay. All right, you got two cases, 2023 CT 2226 and 2227 AO. One counts DUI, property damage. One counts operating a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license. I reviewed the arrest affidavit, do determine there's probable cause as to each case. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you on each case. We'll stay the bond on 2226 at 1,000 on count one, 1,000 on count two, or it's not two counts, 222.
6 and 2226.
Yeah, so we'll stay the bonds in each case. It's two separate case numbers. The Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you as a condition of your bond too. I'll order that you do not operate a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license, okay? All right, good luck, sir.
Need more detail about it. Good luck.
All right, sir, your name? Chev, oh,
Severe bonded, Your Honor.
all right, Shavir, both his cases, he bonded. Yep.
Jason Mark.
Good job, everyone. All right. Mr. Santana?
Yes.
All right, 2023 CT 378 AO. It's one count of operating a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license. A warrant was issued for a failure to appear at a pretrial conference. Bond was set at $150. You also have a warrant in. Is that out of state?
It's a fugitive warrant.
It's a what?
It's a fugitive.
Yeah.
That's just-
All right, you also have a fugitive warrant.
I'm trying to see what state it is.
Is it New Hampshire?
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, New
New
Hampshire.
Hampshire. You also have a warrant out of New Hampshire. The bond in that warrant set at none, so you're gonna be held on that warrant until further proceedings, all right?
Your Honor, we do have an offer to resolve the traffic case.
You wanna do that now?
Stating an offer on the no valid of an adjudication and credit.
All right, if you wanna resolve your driver's license case, it's an adjudication of guilt, credit time served. Is that what you wanna do? You're still gonna be held pursuant to the New Hampshire warrant, but you wanna resolve
this.
All right. So you understand it's a criminal offense, you're entering a plea to a criminal traffic offense. You have certain rights because it's a criminal offense, constitutional rights, like the right to an attorney, the right to go to trial, all that, right to call witnesses. And by resolving your case here today, there's not gonna be a trial, and you're waiving all the constitutional rights associated with going to trial. You understand that?
Yes.
Including your right to an attorney. You understand you're waiving that right?
Yes.
All right. Yeah, are you on probation for any other offense?
Nothing.
All right, you understand that if you were on probation for a separate offense, a plea to this offense might be used to violate that probation?
Yes.
All right. You understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, a plea to this offense will subject you to deportation?
Yes.
Do you understand that if you've ever been convicted of a sexually motivated or sexually violent offense, a plea to this offense could subject you to involuntary civil commitment?
Yes.
All right. You under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication that's affecting your ability to understand what's happening here today?
No.
Anyone threaten you or coerce you to enter this plea?
No.
All right. We'll accept the no contest plea. We'll adjudicate you guilty. What's he got, 2 days?
Yes, Judge.
Sent you 2 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. It's also mandatory court costs, be about $301. I'll give you 1 year from the date of your release from custody to take care of the financial obligations. Otherwise, there's going to be a suspension on your driver's license, all right?
Understood.
All right, you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Uh-huh. All right, sir, your name? All right, sir, this is 2023 CF 4077AO. It's 1 count of possession of MDMA. Reviewed the arrest affidavit. Do determine there's probable cause. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. I'm gonna stay the bond at $1,000, okay?
He did qualify for PTR, Your Honor.
Oh, sorry. You do qualify for what's called pretrial release, okay? So you're gonna be able to, you're gonna be released as it relates to this case without having to post a bond. So we'll release you on pretrial release. The Office of Public Defender's been appointed, so you're gonna be released as it relates to this charge today, okay?
And any conditions with it, Your Honor?
Do not possess or consume any illegal drugs without a valid prescription, okay? All right, good luck.
Police officer, they're gonna have certain things you need to do and report. Okay, stay in touch. It'll get revoked. It's with you. Good luck. Also, talk to your public defender, your attorney as well.
All right. 2023 CF 4073AO. Reviewed the arrest affidavit. Do determine there's probable cause. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent him. I'll stay the bonds on counts 1 through 6 as they are. 1,000 count 1, 150 on counts 2 and 3, 100 on counts 4 and 5, and 150 on count 6. All right. Your name?
Keith Blackman.
All right, Mr. Blackman, this is 2023 CF 4074AO. 1
Your
count of carjacking.
I was just gonna say defense does have a PC argument.
As to which count?
The carjacking, we'd be arguing that it was an attempt, not an actual completion of, or alleged completion of it. My understanding of the statute is that there has to be an actual taking, and it does not seem, the allegations support that.
Your Honor, state would argue that the jury instruction, number one, that the defendant took a motor vehicle from the person or the custody of the person. State would argue that the defendant took it from the custody of the alleged victim as he pulled her out of the vehicle and got into the driver's seat. The second is by force, violence, or assault, or putting in fear during that taking. State would argue it was by force and violence and fear. And then the third element, it was with the intent to temporarily or permanently deprive them for the benefit of themselves. State would again argue that it is present within this affidavit. As he stated, I believe when law enforcement spoke to Mr. Blackman, that he was being chased by people, he threw a brick through the window of the vehicle because he needed to get the vehicle and get away. So state would argue that there was the intent to temporarily or permanently deprive the victim of the motor vehicle.
All right, I understand the argument. I am gonna find probable causes to count one. Is he entitled to it? He is entitled to a bond on count one.
Given that it's, yes, there was no deadly weapon, so he is entitled to a bond.
All right, find probable causes to count 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. What are we gonna say as it relates to the amount of bond?
Your Honor, state would just bring to your attention that the alleged victim was 85 years old.
Right.
And we just ask that you take that into account when setting his bond. He is entitled to bond on all 5 counts. I do believe Mr. Blackman does have a fairly lengthy criminal history of other violent offenses as well.
Yeah, based on the facts of this case, the prior violent history, prior failures to appear, set bond on count 1 at $80,000. No contact with the alleged victim. No weapons, firearms, or ammunition. Count 2, I'm gonna stay the bond at $10,000. Count 3, stay the bond at $2,500. Count 4 and 5 will stay the bonds at $250 and $500 on those respectfully as well. Appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. Good luck, sir. All right, sir, your name? All right, Mr. Buckner, this is 2023 CF 4067AO. It's 1 count of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, 1 count of resisting an officer without violence. I reviewed the arrest affidavit. I do determine there's probable cause. I'm gonna stay the bond on count 1 at $2,500, count 2 at $500. I'm also gonna order that you have no contact with the alleged victim and that you do not possess any weapons, firearms, or ammunition, okay? I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you, but your bonds are what they are. In addition, you're gonna have no contact with the alleged victim, okay? All right, good luck, sir.
So the allegation. So you're gonna have to talk to your attorney in order to get more detail, and that's your bond, okay?
Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second, Mr. Buckner, hold on.
Your Honor,
You need to go back 1 time.
it just appears that he has no history, and he's unable to afford the bond. We'd be asking, I don't think he qualifies for PTR, but we would be asking for a lower bond considering the lack of history.
I considered the lack of history and state them accordingly. I'm not, in order to get a lower bond, the motion needs to be filed. We need to get some testimony.
You believe he potentially needs a one-time?
Right.
Victim and
This is
witness
roommate?
roommates?
Yeah, all right. So I also have to order that you maintain separate residences from the alleged victim. If you need to go back to that residence 1 time, you may do so with the presence of law enforcement to get any personal belongings you need. Otherwise, you and the alleged victim, you can't be roommates until further order of the court.
You have to call law enforcement first, okay? Did you have a question?
Yes,
Just maintain separate residences.
I'll be homeless. I have nowhere else to go.
I understand, sir, and these things aren't always clean. There's no perfect solution. That's what I'm required to do by law, so order what, so, I could, wish you the best of luck. You have an attorney appointed. If you need those conditions modified, you just need to contact your attorney, and then they can file the appropriate motions and have it set in the appropriate court, okay? All right. Good luck, sir. Yeah. Oh, did I give you Chev? I may have accidentally given you him. Next one I have is Cologne. Yeah. I didn't have Chev.
I have that one.
Chever,
Yeah.
but he bonded?
He's before Coleman.
All right, if we find him, he bonded. All right. Cologne bonded, so next we have Daughtry. She bonded. Dickerson. All right. 2023 CF 4061AO. Attempted burglary of a structure. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent her. Review the arrest affidavit, do find there's probable cause. Has the 23 CF 1764AO been filed on?
It has not.
All right. I'll take no action on that one at this time since it hasn't been filed on.
I'm sorry, I missed.
The bond, bond on the current case?
Oh, state it, I thought. Sorry, if I didn't say that, I said it in my head. We'll stay the bond at $3,500, no return, and no contact with the alleged victim. No weapons, firearms, or ammunition. All right. Next is Garcia.
And Your Honor, this is the one
Right.
State brought up before. I believe it should be resisting without.
She here? Well, she blew it. It's okay, good for her.
He's happier to be out anyway.
Yeah, I'm sure. All right, sir, your name?
Gibson.
All right, Mr. Gibson, you're here pursuant to a warrant. Count one in the warrant was set at, the bond was set at $2,500. We'll stay the bond at $2,500 and just require you to report and register as required within 72 hours of your release, okay?
Yes, sir, Your Honor, but when I went to register in October of 2021.
Wait, is
Hold on.
it?
Just anything you say can and will be used against you. So I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. The judge who signed the warrant already found probable cause, so we're just setting the bond at $2,500. Any defense you may have to this there's a time and place to raise that. Today's not really the day, it's just first appearance. So we're gonna stay the bond. If you bond out, the only thing I'm requiring you to do is report as required within 72 hours, all right, of your release. All right, good luck. All right, your name?
Demogeny Hayes.
Or Ms. Hayes? It's one count of aggravated assault with a firearm, one count of carrying a concealed firearm, one count of grand theft third degree. Viewed the arrest affidavit, I do determine there's probable cause as to each count. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. One second. All right, based on lack of history, I'm gonna set bond on count one at $3,500. Count two at $250, count three at $250. I'm gonna order that you have no contact with the alleged victim, that you possess no weapons, firearms, or ammunition, and that you have no contact with the alleged co-defendant, Shaw McKenzie.
Yes, sir.
All right, you violate any of those conditions of release, there's gonna be a warrant issued, and it's gonna be a no bond warrant. You'll stay no bond till you see the judge, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, good luck.
Thank you.
All right, ma'am, your name?
Jackson.
All right, Ms. Jackson, you're here, one count of petty theft with 2 or more prior convictions in case 23 CF 4060 AO. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you in that case. I have reviewed the arrest affidavit. Do determine there's probable cause. We'll stay the bond in that case at $1,000 and also order that you do not return to the Millennium Mall.
Yes, sir.
You also have violation of probation warrants. Is it 2 or 3 cases?
It's two violation of probation warrants.
One from Alachua and one from St. John's. All right. So you have violation of probation warrants one from Alachua County, one from St. John's County. Both those warrants have no bond. We're gonna stay the bonds at none until those counties come get you, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, good luck. All right, Ms. Kinsey, 2023 CF 4065 AO. 1 count possession of cocaine, 1 count possession of drug paraphernalia. Viewed the arrest affidavit, do determine there's probable cause. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent her. Has the other case been filed on?
No.
No? Okay. I'll take no action on that case for now.
Are you gonna stay the bonds?
Oh, that's not, it must be Friday. All right. Yeah, stay the bond on count 1 and count 2, 1,100. All right. All right. All right. Mr. Lewis is here in 2023 CF 4087. This was a weird one. Arson 2nd degree of a vehicle and criminal mischief, less than $1,000, which is weird. I think they hit the wrong button.
Hang tight, because we're addressing another case and I need to listen.
Viewed the arrest affidavit, do determine there's probable cause. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent Mr. Lewis. He's also out on bond. That case has been filed on in 2022 CF 14239 AO. We're going to revoke bond in that case, set bond at none. He has an attorney in that case, so.
The bond is on the new.
Golly.
Conditions.
Heck. Yeah, we'll stay him, $2,500 on count 1, $150 on count 2.
And so it would ask for no return to Sky House and.
Oh, yes,
no
yes,
contact.
definitely no return to, yes. No return to Sky House and no contact with any of the alleged victims. All right, sir, your name?
Terrell Jamarvis Lewis.
All right, Mr. Lewis, you have 3 cases, I believe. They're warrants for failure to appear. First case is 2022 CF 1280 AO. The bond in that warrant's $20,000. We're going to stay the bond at $20,000. The other case is 2022 CT 3417 AO. The bond in that case is for failure to appear is $500. We're going to stay the bond at $500. You also have one out of Brevard County. Case number in Brevard County is 2021 CF 35564 AO. That's a VOP warrant. The bond in that warrant set at none. We're going to stay the bond at none. All right, good luck, sir. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you in each of those cases if I didn't already.
So you'll have to talk to your attorney about that. Because they'll have to do a bond motion and all that.
All right, good luck.
Take this with you, though.
All right, sir, yeah. Sir, your name?
Roland Lopez.
All right, Mr. Lopez, this is 2023 CF 4042 AO. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you in this case. I've reviewed the arrest affidavits, 1 count of false imprisonment, 1 count of battery. I do determine there's probable causes to each count. Hold on 1 second. All right, I'm gonna stay the, I'm gonna stay the bond on count one at $3,000, stay the bond on count two at $500. I'm order that you have no contact with the alleged victim in this case. No contact means no contact. That's not just physical contact, that's emails, text messages, internet, IMs, 4chan, 8chan, whatever it may be. No communication through third parties, no relaying messages through people. No contact means no contact, okay? Also gonna order that you possess no weapons, firearms, or ammunition, all right? Good luck to you, sir. All right, it's 2023 CF 4076 AO. One count of possession of MDMA. Reviewed the arrest affidavit to determine there's probable cause. He also has 23 MO 435 AO. I didn't see that one until now, so give me a second. It's one count of,
I apologize, what was that?
it's an open container. It's
Okay,
MO.
I did see that one.
Yeah. There's no allegations in the open container that there was anything, it just says it was an open can of beer. It doesn't say there's anything in it that I can see. Unless I'm missing it.
Your Honor, just says open can of beer, that it was earthquake beer, 10% alcohol.
Right. You know, he could have been collecting cans. I don't know. But anyway, I'm a ROR, find no PC as the open container. There's no allegation that there was any alcoholic beverage within the container, just that it was an open can. So we're ROR as to the open container, but we'll stay the bond on the CF 4076 at $1,000, and then that's gonna be it.
He has an
Then
open
he's out on
case.
bond,
Yeah, he's out on ROR.
out on R. It says ROR in 23 CF 887 AO.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Oh, I see ROR there. Is that probably because it hadn't been filed on?
It has been filed.
It has?
When was it filed?
It was filed February 28th. It was ROR due to notice of
33 day.
non-filing on the 20th, and we filed the 28th.
If Your Honor is inclined to take any action, of course, defense would prefer no action, but if you are inclined, we'd ask for revoke and double instead of no bond.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, I'm not gonna set it at none. I am gonna revoke the bond. I'm gonna set bond in that case. It's burglary of a structure. I'm gonna set bond at $5,000 in that case with the condition, no return, no contact.
And the second count, Your Honor?
Petty theft, we'll, set bond at 100. Yeah, so on the one he's out on bond, 23 CF 887 AO, we're gonna revoke ROR, set bond on count one at 5,100 on the petty theft, and no return, no contact. 1,000, state it. ROR, no PC. Sean Manning, that name sounds familiar too. 23 CF 4071 AO. It's possession of MDMA. I reviewed the arrest affidavit to determine there's probable cause. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender, stay the bond at $1,000, and I think this one's, no. All right, we'll just do that.
This one's you.
All right, sir, your name?
Philip Jason Rivers.
All right, Mr. Rivers, you're here on a warrant. In 2022 6 warrants. First one's 2022 CF 2577 AO. 2 counts, 1 count petty, both of them petty theft with 2 prior convictions. Bond on each count is set at $2,500. We're going to stay the bonds in that case. Or that do not return to the scene where this was alleged to have occurred, no contact with any alleged victim. Next case is 2022 CF 3241AO. It's one count of petty theft with 2 prior convictions. Bond in that case was set at $1,000. Going to stay the bond with the same conditions. Do not return, no contact with any alleged victims. It's also 2022 CF 2073AO. It's again petty theft, 2 prior convictions. Bond in that case is set at $1,000. No contact with the victim, no contact with witnesses, and do not return to the scene. 2022 CF 5718AO. It's another warrant for petty theft, 2 prior convictions. Bond was set at $500 in that case. Also going to order that you have no contact with any of the alleged victims. You do not return to the scene. And then there's also 2022 CF 5719, another count of petty theft, 2 prior convictions. Bond in that case is set at $500. Stay the bond, no contact, no return. Then also 2022 CF 8097. It's a warrant for petty theft, 2 prior convictions. Bond in that case was set at $2,500. Do not return, no contact with any victim, co-defendant, or witnesses. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you in each of those cases, but those are going to be your bonds, okay?
Your Honor, Mr. Rivers has limited funds right now. He has been incarcerated and unable to, of course, due to that incarceration, have gainful employment at that time and finances for these bonds. I understand these bonds were pursuant to a warrant. However, we would be seeing if the court would be inclined to lower the bonds.
No, absolutely not.
Understood.
Good luck, sir.
Good luck. Talk to your attorney.
Arterio, Ruiz, refuse, Your Honor.
All right. 2022 CF 5866AO. It's one count of attempted second-degree murder. I reviewed the affidavit to issue the warrant. Give me 1 second to look at his face sheet. Does the state have a position as to an appropriate bond? Let me look.
Defense would ask, apologies, defense will hold.
Okay, go ahead if you want to say something.
Defense was just going to ask, based on the limited convictions, to take that into consideration,
Yeah,
or the no convictions, I should say.
he's got some out-of-state
Oh, okay, the limited convictions.
Yes.
Your Honor, state would just, it is an F1, he is entitled to bond. But the allegations within the affidavit are
Yeah, not great.
concerning. And given he has, it seems, extensive ties to out-of-state. His last conviction was out-of-state 29 days ago. So state is concerned that he potentially would be a flight risk, as he appears to have all out-of-state history and has pled to something or was convicted, I'm not sure, out-of-state extremely recently. So state would just ask that you take that into account when setting his bond.
Yeah, based on the allegations in the affidavit, the conduct in the affidavit, and the out-of-state ties, it's got most, if not all of his history is out-of-state. I'm set bond on count 1 at $250,000. No contact. No return. And no weapons, firearms, or ammunition.
Jalen Thomas bonded.
All right, sir, your name?
Is it right?
All right, Mr. Wright, you're here
And defense
on a
does.
couple cases. Yeah, go ahead. We'll start with 2023 CF 4038 AO, it's possession of cocaine. Defense?
Yes, Your Honor. Defense would be arguing for lack of probable cause. I understand the argument of constructive possession. However, I don't believe the police report even states where specifically in the vehicle the substance was found. The first substance, which was, I believe, for the co-defendant, was found in her purse. Then for this one, it just says that something else was found in the vehicle, and please correct me if I am wrong in my reading. But the defense's understanding is that it was found in the vehicle, the location was not disclosed, therefore there's no probable cause to constructive possession, because it could have been in the trunk for all we know.
What says in, while searching the truck?
Okay, I did miss that, which
This is more of a Scrivener's error.
there we go. Well, then that would be defense's argument in that sense. PC wouldn't be met for that either.
All right, whose car was it, State?
I believe the defendant was in the passenger seat. I don't believe it states who the vehicle belonged to, but Ashley.
So Ashley was
Ratchford was driving, and Mr. Wright was the passenger.
And then the other, what wasn't found in the trunk was found in her bag, right?
Yes. And then they continued to search the vehicle, found multiple contraband along with burnt cannabis blunts. I believe that's all we have. In the officer's PC statement, he writes that he has PC due to having constructive possession that was located in the rear of the vehicle with both denying ownership. That was the officer's justification of his PC.
Where does it say that?
That is the last page.
Okay, in the rear vehicle when both denying ownership.
Yes.
Yeah, I just don't think it's articulated well enough. The trunk can mean a lot of things. Like, is it a closed trunk? Is it like an SUV where it's the rear of the vehicle? He says both. He says the trunk and the rear. So. As it relates to that, I'm gonna find no PC as a cocaine possession, so ROR in 2023 CF 4038 AO. But you also are here in 2022 CF 11633 AO. That's pursuant to a warrant for violation of a conditional release condition. That warrant is set at no bond. We're gonna stay the bond at none in that case until you can go see that judge. You're also out on bond on 23. Is that the same case?
No, Your Honor. This is
You're also out on bond on 23 CF 1792 AO. That, I'm assuming, hasn't been filed on yet. It was pretty recent.
1792. No, it has not yet been.
All right, so we'll take no action on that one for now. All right?
So you get to talk to your attorney that has the no bond.
All right, good luck, sir.
Good luck.
All right. Is there anything else to address before we adjourn for the weekend?
Nothing from the state.
I don't believe so.
All right, thank you, everyone.